Welcome back to the Kinshasa Lift, the monolith of hope between mankind and the dusk. Please take a seat and secure all personal items.
Oh, hiya, DuskBreaker 837. Our records have shown that you've been putting in nearly twice the hours up here. Your hard work is really paying off, yeah?
I suppose.
The fine folks at Dusk Tech were wondering, what is motivating all your extra dusk time, huh? The recruits would love to hear some words of inspiration.
I like getting paid.
Okay. Well, DuskBreaker 837, your Dusk Tech family thanks you for your service. You'll be safe and enjoy your trip home.
The Shadow District's gonna love these.
The lift is about to depart. Please make sure that all personal items are secure. And have a pleasant trip to Machafuko.
What up? Whoa, I'm big. Hey, Joshy. What's going on?
What up? I'm big. Hey, everybody. This is DuskBreakers finally having another live stream. It has been a while. We're here for the launch of the Gribble eggs, our second collection ever at DuskBreakers. So I'm excited, of course, and somewhat exhausted. It has obviously been a very busy week for us here, trying to get everything up and running. How about yourself? How are you, Bernie?
Oh my God, everything has been insane, but it's super exciting. Just watching that clip of that was Style Piggy Julia who gave us that clip earlier that you saw during the pre-show, and it just kind of got me hyped, man. I mean, like, really proud of this game, and super glad to be here. I've been waiting for this day for months. You know, you and I and the rest of the team have been working every day, all day on building to this, and we're bringing it all together right here, right now. And we're doing it on Twitch, right? Kind of our OG kind of where a lot of us started, a lot of us are. So it's gonna be back. It's gonna be back.
Yeah, it feels like home, right? I'm a Twitch partner. I was actually, bit of trivia, I was one of the first 100 Twitch partners, along with a lot of the other StarCraft 2 creators back in the day. So I am kind of treating this dev stream really like a Twitch stream, but just better because I have all these cool, smart people to talk to. And also we have a lovely production assistant, Zach, helping us run all the stuff so I don't have to press all the buttons. We can just talk about all the cool stuff that we're doing. So big thank you to Zach. We're also going to have Julia, Nick, Kevin, lots of guests, Kristen as well, Jason. So throughout this long show, I'll preface, let's start talking about the show, I suppose. It is slated for 3 hours. So the first 15 minutes we had there for kind of a warm-up, get people in the door, Twitch notifications go out, Discord, Twitter, etc., get everyone in here. And now obviously we're going to recap a bit about DuskBreakers, what we've been doing up to the second collection at 6 p.m. Pacific, which is in about 40 minutes. That is when we intend for everything to go crazy, you know, showtime, go time, and you and I are here to kind of walk everyone through all of the things that will hopefully be live and looking awesome at that time. But 7 p.m.-ish Pacific to 8 p.m.-ish Pacific, we also have slated for a long AMA session. So for the DuskBreakers who've been with us for a long time, and we normally do the Twitter Spaces / Discord kind of hangout combination, obviously, we're on Twitch this time, and it has been a couple of weeks. There's a lot to go over, lots of questions to be asked, and answers to be given. So we're going to do the end of the show is kind of extended AMA until we're all satisfied, or until 8 p.m. So that's the structure of the show, basically. Obviously, the second collection is our big focal point right now. Should I go ahead and start talking about what we expect at 6 p.m. Pacific?
Yeah, sure. So those of you who are been following along, part of the allow list, part of the community, we can get that on screen here. You can see the timer on our left. Sorry, I have to think about it. where counts down to 6 p.m. Pacific time of when everything should be going live and ready to rock. But let's get into kind of the basics of what you're going to be able to do at 6 o'clock. So if we can just get the shared screen up from my window, we'll see. We give it a minute. You're going to see everything, but in the meantime, you also can see on our sidebar here the couple of the kind of tentpole events that you're going to be able to do starting today. You're going to mint your Gribble eggs. You're going to be able to play Twilight Shift, and you can join the community, which is something you've always been able to do. Yeah. So, anyway, go ahead, Joshy. You got your info up there about what our amazing members can do. Yeah.
So I realized we did kind of I kind of bulldozed through the first opening segment where we wanted to remind everyone what DuskBreakers actually is, but I have a feeling if you're here already, you probably have a good idea. DuskBreakers, of course, is a sci-fi saga that we're building across Web3 with audio, visual, games, comics, everything we can think of. So DuskBreakers, the breakers themselves were our first Genesis collection back in December. Gribble eggs, which you're all here to learn about today, are our second collection. I like to think of the breakers as the sort of identity or character or personalization aspect, and Gribbles and perhaps things in the future can be viewed as more, toys, utility, things that breakers have, right? So the Genesis Breaker collection is still very, very important to us. We're still building our story around those characters, less likely to have a specific Gribble. Not to say that won't happen, I'm sure it will, but breakers are obviously the key to our universe, and Gribbles are now an extension of that. So we want all of our breakers to have a Gribble that they can raise and care for and eventually play fun games with that we're still building. So the very top line there, you see holders, claim your Gribble eggs at duskbreakers.gg/egg. So that is our intended URL once the site flips over. You may not be able to go there right now. It'll probably throw a 404 error for a while, but once we're ready to claim, all the holders will get Gribble eggs, excuse me, they're not hatched yet. Gribble eggs equal to the number of breaker NFTs that they actually hold. So there's at least one Gribble for every breaker out there to, hang out together and become friends. The allow list, of course, on top of that means that the collection is going to be larger than 10,000. It is somewhat capped at 20,000, or at least early capped at 20,000, but this Gribble contract will actually allow us to breed later on. So these are the first 20,000 maximum will be OGs, or original Gribbles as we're calling them. So you can call them that if you like, but the allow list still will be OGs, this first collection of Gribbles ever, up to 20,000, 10,000 for holders, up to 10,000 for new folks or people who have earned allow lists from our own contests and things in the past. So obviously, if you've been around for a while, we've done art contests, writing contests, scoreboard contests. In this past week, we've done tons of partner collaborations as well, giveaways of all sorts. So some people have the ability to mint more than 20 Gribble eggs because they have participated so often. So deep appreciation to all of those folks who've been with us since January. Really was the first time we started offering these. Beast Battler, I think, was the first week of February. But the minting of 2 eggs per allow list earned means that if you earned 1 allow list spot in an art contest, for example, you'll be able to mint 2 Gribble eggs at 0.03 ETH each, and that is also in about 35 minutes, the big countdown timer. It's actually on that side of me. That's what it's counting down to, is mint and claim time here for everyone. And at that same time, the last line there, play to mint should also be kicking off at duskbreakers.gg/launcher is where you can actually go get our Windows-only launcher at the moment. Mac, mobile, and web are still being considered, of course, and built for. But up to the minute here, until otherwise announced, Windows launcher is going to be your only way to play to mint until we, communicate otherwise. Hopefully, very soon solve for that as well. Play to mint. Go ahead.
It's a slight change on that. So the play to mint, there will be a solution for Mac. It won't be playing Twilight Shift specifically. So okay. there is a Mac solution which we'll disclose if we need to. Let's see what happens. So keep going.
There will be ideally something for everyone. Let's leave it at that, vague for now.
That's the point.
Okay, so if you do the Play to Mint, if you do have Windows, and you can get started immediately with the launcher, all you have to do is log in with your MetaMask. You won't have to do seed phrase, anything like that. The security and engineering of this launcher is actually a point of pride for us, designing this as secure as it is. So hopefully everyone will enjoy that. MetaMask is the preferred wallet for all of our interactions when it comes to minting or launcher or website interactions that you'll learn about later. So if you do not have a MetaMask currently, you may just go get one for free and get started with us today. So if you do the Play to Mint in the first 48 hours, you will earn 3 mint spots. Mint, it's really 3 mints total at 0.03 ETH still. After 48 hours, so from 6 p.m. tonight, that would be Sunday night. After Sunday night Pacific time, it will be 2 mints per wallet if you do the Play to Mint. So we are trying to incentivize people, obviously, if you're not already on the allow list or not already claiming a dozen plus eggs by being a holder, Play to Mint quickly and get yourself some eggs before the rest of the public gets to it. So that's pretty much it for slide 1. I hope that was comprehensive. Essentially, it's 3 things we need to think about. Holders claiming. You have to go on the website. You do have to pay gas. It is not an airdrop. There will be, some interaction necessary for you, but you can claim for up to 30 days. So plenty of time. You just want to get started early so you can start evolving your eggs. You've got the allow lists from contests and partners. That's 2 mints each, also at 6 p.m. And then the Play to Mint, first 48 hours, 3 mints each. After that, 2 mints each. That's my spiel. We're probably going to end up repeating that several times. That information is also spread all over our website and Discord. So if there are any questions specifically, please do ask on Discord. We've got some people moderating. Bernie and I are here on the stream, so it's going to be harder for us to answer immediately. But any pressing questions, do definitely make sure you're in our Discord. And Style Piggy just linked that in the chat. Thank you for that. So
look at that. I want to point one thing about kind of, again, it feels like, most of you probably in here probably are very familiar with this, but those of you who aren't, again, as Joshua said, DuskBreakers is a sci-fi game franchise, and it's not just one game, it's many games. So this Twilight Shift technically is you could call it our 3rd game, you could also call it our 2nd game, and it's definitely a far superior leap forward in what we've been able to develop. Complete props to our amazing game design and art teams for their incredible work on what they've been able to put out in a very, very short amount of time. Very, very excited about this game. And this Play to Mint that we were talking about, and you see the timer again at the top left there, like why do we do this? And this is something that we were known for very early. Some people think we're the innovators in here. I'm not going to say we are. I'm not going to say we aren't. A lot of people think that are we the only ones who do that or don't? You make your own analysis, but why we do it is because one, it's our DNA, our spirit is that we're a gaming company. We build game franchises, so we want people to play games. And another reason why we do this is for NFTs and minting. There's a lot of big problems with bots and people just kind of piling in, and some guy or some person writing a script to just buy up 10,000 or 5,000 or 1,000 of the NFTs all at once, and just a traversing line. So why we do this is that we want to make sure that we want you to try the game. Obviously, we think the game's great. We want you to play the game. But we also want you to make sure that you're a person. so it just verifies that you're not a bot. It'd be a pretty impressive bot writer for someone to do one that would actually play this game and verify that you're playing this game. And it's not just a log in and play the game for a second. You actually have to register a score. So you actually have to play the game, not just log in and then log out and say you're in. You do have to play the game. And we think it's a fun game. We'd love to hear what you think about it. If you guys have played it, those of you who are holders got to play a version of it a couple weeks ago. They've definitely improved a lot of the things about the game based on feedback that you all put in, which is really great. A great little ethos here about Web3 and having it be a community aspect here where we're getting feedback and building into the experience. So I just wanted to remind everybody that, or kind of state that this is in our DNA. Like our DNA as a company, our DNA as a team is that we build game franchises and we make NFTs and we merge them together and make these great synergetic experiences that we'll get into more and more details as we talked about what is the Gribble Eggsperience that's launching today and in less than 20 or less than 30 minutes here. So just want to reiterate that. as we move on to our next segment, right, Joshy? If I'm missing anything, any questions we want to hit before we go to the next?
Two small points of interest that I did skip. If you are claiming or minting quite a lot of Gribble eggs at one time, we are capping at 20 per transaction. That will affect very few of you, but who knows? Someone else definitely has 20 plus eggs. Just keep that in mind. It'll just be 20 at a time cap. And then also the update for Play to Mint, the intention is an hourly check of all the people who did the Twilight Shift, mission that they needed to do. So play your Twilight Shift, earn your ability to mint, and then check back on the hour, and you should be able to mint. So we'll hopefully, get clarification on that and reiterate it throughout the show. But that should be it for mint minutia. I'm looking in the Twitch chat as well for questions. I do see, is play to mint for free or have a chance to mint for 0.03? It is. If you play to mint, it will be a chance to mint at 0.03. So definitely got that answered. And I think that's it. I think we're ready to move on.
Yeah, and let's move on and bring our colleague Jason in here when you got him ready to go. But just a little, as that's happening, a little clarification on the. Oh, hey Jason, nice. Jason's sound. You got your sound going. Producer Zach, can you?
I heard it. Nope, didn't hear Jason. Might need to check your Skype source. We all had to check our Skype sources earlier because we're doing production.
While that's happening, I'll clarify.
How about now?
Oh, there you go.
All good. We got
the claim. So if you're holding a breaker and you were holding this breaker before last night, so don't buy one now expecting to get this because you're not gonna be able to get it. You're getting a free claim drop, meaning that, as Yashi said, you have to claim it. So you have to pay the gas, which shouldn't be very much, and get a 1-to-1. So if you're holding 5 breakers, you get 5 eggs for free if you want them. If you don't want them, cool. If you're holding 20, as Joshi said, there are people out there holding 20 plus breakers. You can mint 20 at once. If you have 25 breakers, you'll get another 5 at the second mint. So that's just clarifying that. What's up, Jason? What's going on?
How's everybody doing? It's been good so far. What a day, huh?
What a day. Dude, how are you honestly feeling? Like just like how tired are you?
So I'm it's just this is fun. It actually reminds me one of the folks from Meta Theory that used to work for Twitch, and so this takes me back to the old days. I was thinking about this, that when we were 2012, 2013, when I was running support and moderation, working 12, 14-hour days, trying to make sure everything, the lights stayed on. So it had that feel of like, ooh, excitement. I'm much older now than I was then, so it is trying to get my 7 hours at night. Hopefully, it's been good.
So out of curiosity, it's like, so I'm actually, just because we're chatting, it's like, wait, so how long were you at Twitch?
6.5 years, late 2012 to mid 2019. Yeah. Nice. So yeah.
Nice.
I did everything except sweep floors, pretty much.
So let's re-intro you here for the stream then. What is your role here at Meta Theory, and what have you been so busy doing this week?
Yeah, thank you. So hi, I'm Jason. My fancy title is I'm the VP of Community and Marketing at Meta Theory and DuskBreakers, and so what I do is notably work with Joshy, work with Bernie, work with Kevin. We're writing lots of copy, coming up with cool marketing concepts, trying to reach out to partners to help us market this particular event. Always trying to think of what is the next way we can market our product and keep our community as happy and informed as possible.
Excellent synopsis.
Well, before that, Joshy, what do you do here?
What do I do here? Yeah. Everything Jason does, because he makes me do it. No. Community lead is my title, and that's mostly because I started just part-time while I was still working another job back in January. So now I'm handling Discord communications, lots of partner management this past week as well. Basically just a career communicator. Hosting AMAs and stuff like this is kind of my wheelhouse as well. I actually started in radio and then worked in esports and Blizzard for a stretch. That was actually my longest job I've ever had, still was Blizzard somehow. And I kind of lucked into that one. But at Metatheory, now that I have all that experience from game dev, we are designing contests and lots of things in the future that I'm excited about once we actually have any sort of multiplayer games, things like that. Scoreboard contests are cool, but they can be kind of grindy. I really like the head-to-head competition. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot of events, contests, partner outreach, answering questions, stuff like that. So thanks for that intro. And Bernie, now that we've both got a chance, of course, you get to
Bernie, what do you even do?
Yeah, what do I do? What do I do, man? Chief Content Officer. That's my title. I run a lot of basically all the content strategy. Put this together. Say that. It's crazy. I'm a storyteller. I come from the entertainment industry, more like traditional Hollywood. Director, writer, producer. Did a couple of shows. Did one on Twitch. Won an Emmy. I think it's this one here. So yeah, that's been that show is called Artificial. You can go to the channel. If you want to watch it, you can. A couple of the team members. Zach, our broadcast technician engineer for this was the one who was directing a lot of the episodes for Artificial. So you can give him a shout out. He's the voice of Doom in the chat. I don't know if he's actually able to chat because he's so much to do right now. And then Jen Anfield Kane, who you'll see later on the stream, was actually got all the way to co-showrunner of being with me on Artificial as well. So a lot of that kind of Twitch DNA coming from a lot of different places, right? Jason was literally an employee there. A lot of the people who are founding members of the team were from Twitch. We're at Twitch. Literally, when Kevin Lane was the founder of Twitch, Joshi does a lot of content on Twitch, among with all the gaming stuff he does, and I do the shows. So, or I did a show, not the shows, a show on Twitch that did pretty well. So cool. All right, well, let's get into us. Let's kind of go through a chance to kind of talk about we're almost like Metatheory as a company is almost like 1 year old now. I don't know if it is or not. But I like to talk about and show kind of some slides of how we got here. So if we can kind of get that screen, my next screen up here.
Are you gonna play Memories?
I'm going to have
Cats.
Time of Your Life by Green Day is going to play it.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Spectacular.
It's a lovely slideshow that Bernie made.
I'm gonna keep going back in this, back and forth. This kind of show a lot of the great visuals and things that have been coming together. And now we have Chirons. Look at that. Oh, look at that. I wonder who that is. That's Jason. Okay. So we started back in when we released content. Our first drop was the 10,000 original DuskBreakers. Some of them you see here. And this is our first collection, which you can go get now over on OpenSea if you have some. If you're holding, great. We're very, very happy with it so far, and we've been building since the beginning from this. The 10,000 DuskBreakers in our story are the 10,000 people who are converted to give and enhanced cybernetically to give them power to go up to the dusk and break the ship, as we like to say. And so when we launched this the collection, we had our play to mint, our first play to mint system, which we used our Breaker Recruiter Sim, which we now call a Breaker Recruiter Sim, which was a shooter game, which you got to go on to a simulated version of the Dusk and got to play and mint the original NFTs. Very similar system. Back then, it was basically the same thing. You played the game, you got a chance to mint the NFTs, and you mint the NFTs. One of the gameplay things I want to call out from this game that is different doing our new game, Twilight Shift, is that the previous game was very much a shoot everything, just like get everything, shoot everything type of game. And this Twilight Shift game, if you haven't played it, it's far more of a strategic game. We call it a stealth game, and it's a little more accurate to the story of what you're doing. It's not called, the game, the franchise isn't called Dusk Killers, right? Like it's called DuskBreakers. We're going up there and breaking ships and mining them, not just going up there murdering everything that you see. So just a little fun thing there. And then we've definitely done some great art, which you're going to see from Gears a little later. This is one he drew when we first did our stream. This little well, it's not that little. It's awesome. It's a breaker being chased by a Gribble, and so we continue to build as we hold on. I lost my mouse. Oop, wrong button. Mouse. There we go. We continue to build. So our team is how big now? Jason, I get different numbers all the time. Do you know how big it is?
57 was the last number that I saw.
57.
Yeah.
It's 57. So our team, we're mostly doxed. I say mostly, I mean there's 57 of us. Do we need to dox all 57? But all the kind of leads are doxed as we get them up. They're on the site. You can see, and that's been our spirit from day one, to be a team that's been very, very transparent with what we're building and who we are, and so forth. So going on, and then we've started to actually do like a lot of 3D, kind of going forward with our development. So you saw our first like 3D model series image. I'm gonna call it cinematic. That's the right word, cinematic, which you can see on our YouTube channel. Pretty fun stuff as we start to develop this capability. Now we're of course at our payday video, which you just saw at the beginning of the stream. You'll see it again. Don't worry if you missed it. We also then did another version of the game called the Beast Battler. This is another great piece of art by Gears, who will be coming on shortly to draw some things for us. And this contest is this was a second version of the game, of the first simulation game. So if you want to say that and the sim are the same game, is Beast Battler different? You make your interpretation. The different ways to describe it. They're similar worlds but different games. And we actually ran a really amazing contest through this mechanic where we really rewarded our game players, our grinders. We were giving away weekly. This is an example of a weekly prize we were giving away. This is also when ETH was higher, so the fire in USDC in the context of ETH is a big difference here. But we were giving away 2 NFTs a week. At pretty consistently, and we're giving away which we were previously calling whitelist, now called allow list spots for this collection we're about to launch. So pretty cool stuff. More amazing art from Gears. This is celebrating the Lunar New Year, and just a cool thing that was on our Discord for quite a while. Hold on, just looking at what's ahead so I don't go too far in what I'm showing. All right, and then this was the second 3D video, and this we called the Beast Battler Champions video. What was really fun about this one that I really enjoyed was that I actually really wanted to put the breakers, the players who really grinded, and put them in the video. So you can see in the background this guy, the corrupted, is kind of walking past what I call the champions of the Beast Battlers. So just an ethos we have where we're trying to inject and bring the community into the story. So finding ways to do that. This is not necessarily a hard canonical narrative part, but it's just something a cool thing we got to do where we put them into these high quality videos. And so continued, our art continues to evolve. This was back when we were doing our big announcement with our A16Z funding announcement. Pretty cool stuff. And then we started to continue to have a lot of contests, right? We had our Breaking Mad Libs contest where the audience got to put their breaker, and kind of what I did is I crafted a story or a script where they could Mad Libs in their breaker, they could name the breaker, they could give them their relatives, they can give them their hobbies and so forth. A little just fun little prize there. Everything had giveaways. We love giving away stuff. And then we had this was the sticker contest, right, Joshy? I think you know about this one, right?
This was the sticker contest. These are 2 of the favorite ones that I like to use every morning when I come back into the general chat. Yeah, whenever I see the general chat has popped off and I get up and check things out, I usually use the corrupted high. That's my favorite one. Yeah, the sticker contest went great. We got like 150 entries and ended up adding like 30 new ones. So we may end up doing another one later once Gribbles are more centric. Perhaps we'll do a Gribble sticker contest as well. But I do love the art contests that we've run. Always have good results. So thank you to the community for some cool entries.
I remember this contest, and I was pretty blown away. I was just like, oh my God, these are amazing. So pretty cool. And then now kind of going into our launch. Oh, sorry. Before I get there, we did a second Mad Libs contest. This one was connected to our comic strip, a webcomic, which I for some reason, not only slides too, but we have some images for them later. So we've been running a webcomic for the last couple months now. Issue 7 just came out last week, and then we've actually managed to incorporate breakers, community-owned breakers into it, which we'll talk about more later. Got some demo stuff, and then finally we're getting into the Twilight Shift, the new game, the story world building out here. So this is an image, a new splash image for the Red Warren, which is the zone that you're going to in the game. This forbidden zone with some very rare materials and some very unsavory inhabitants that don't want you to be there, but you need the materials in order to power up your egg. So that's one of the story things that we'll get to as we go forward. And then this is the amazing splash screen for Twilight Shift when you play the launcher. So just kind of that's where we've been. Anything I missed, gentlemen, if you guys want to fill in some gaps there. But I just wanted to give the community a little kind of massive recap of this entire journey as it's been, because it's gone so far.
It's a good visual journey.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, rules. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
I was just going to chime in. Yeah, the contest couldn't dig up the information quite on time for the broadcast, but we gave away something like 22 NFTs up to this point from our original collection. You're talking about making them into canon official lore through the webcomic, which we had the one slide with the Mad Libs, but the webcomic is pretty robust now. We've got 7 chapters of it, DuskBreakers.gg/comic. Also illustrated heavily by Gears, some assistance here and there, but mostly Gears up to this point. Definitely his creation, his baby. So definitely check out duskbreakers.gg/comic. Jolie's Journey is the name of that one. So Jolie is our sort of main character so far. A couple of the characters that we've shown in the comic include Eddie, who did really well in the Beast Battlers. So his character is really, really good at, fighting Gribbles, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to continue adding. I think that's a really cool feature. So glad we got to call that out. But just contests, tons of NFTs, USDC, thousands and thousands of USDC. You mentioned ETH maybe being worth a little less now, but still giving stuff away. So thanks to all our holders and people contributing in those, and we'll definitely have more for you. Discord is going to be the home for those contests for anyone unfamiliar.
Cool. So next up, we're going to bring up Gears, but Jason, do you have anything you want to throw out to the community before we bring up Mr. Gears?
No, bring up Gears. Let's give the people what they want. They want the artist.
Let's bring up Gears. Let's bring up Gears. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Jason. Not sure if we'll hear from you again later in the stream during the long AMA time.
1 second. I need to do something because Zach is my ear. We're coming on that countdown, bringing Gears up when Gears is ready. Yeah, see him there.
Yeah, we're doing this live, right? So
live TV
on launch day. By the way, remember, any questions you have, throw them in Discord, throw them in the Twitch chat. Love to answer them. This is essentially functioning as kind of our AMA for the moment as we reimagine what we're doing here. Oh look, Jason's still here. Great.
Already in progress. Yeah, he was on the dock for this part.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Trying to get rid of me, huh?
Yeah. So we have this general time now for the next 10, 11 minutes before we see if everything's working, where we can just hang out with you guys. So I do want to just give some shout outs. Twitch chat, obviously a lot of familiar faces. Oh No Not Joe, Yuzu, Petrify, Adam and Kevin are both in chat. Peter, so Delu, of course, Style Piggy. Delu, I want to thank specifically for streaming the holder playtest of Twilight Shift. A few people did, but I actually have been using his stream highlights because they're good quality and he doesn't talk over them and have a bunch of alerts and stuff going off. So definitely useful footage there. Thank you, Delu. We shared that with a lot of partners. And then Moxalate, of course, you get a shout out as well, of course. But yeah, just saying hi to everybody while we've got Gears now drawing here. So do leave any questions, praise, if you please. But anything, we're just hanging out until basically the site flips over in 10 to 15 minutes.
Hey, Gears, can you hear us? I don't know if we have Gears' audio.
I don't think he can hear us.
He's only in the screen share, yeah.
Yeah, but
he's in
I can hear
locked
you.
away in a bunker. Oh,
delayed on stream, but
I do hear him
Gotcha.
twice.
I thought he was. I thought
That
we
might
had him
just-
locked up in the basement, in the private bunker where he can't get out. He has to draw all day.
I know why we heard him twice. That's my fault. So Gears, what are we drawing? What are you seeing here? What are you drawing?
I'm
not.
just drawing a breaker holding a newly found Gribble egg.
Nice, apt.
This is like one of
This
those
is-
news broadcasts where I have to
Yeah,
listen for a
exactly.
delay.
Exactly. We're across the globe from each other. We're waiting for the satellite to send the signal. And Gears like literally
I'm just gonna
lives
shut up
like
and draw.
in the same. Gears is in the same building with me. And we're communicating across the globe.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Cool. I know that Gears' audio is coming a little hot. I think we have some eyes on that, so don't sweat it.
So we're gonna talk about the process, Bernie. We got like 8 minutes. We're gonna run this down.
What do you? Go ahead, run it down. Talk about the
Yeah.
process.
How did we get here? How did we get to this moment? How did we get to this moment? We did.
What do you mean? Like, what part of the story are we sharing?
Just where we were in. I'm just going back to like where we were in like March, April. I think it was April. We were sitting there and we knew we had a collection ahead of us.
So why eggs? Why these eggs?
Yeah.
Well, I also say that during March, Beast Battler was still running. Okay. That contest was still running. It was probably in week 8 or 9. It was getting a little long in the tooth. It felt like there's a lot of grinding going on, and we knew there was another collection coming along. But I'll throw it back to you. How did we get to egg?
Yeah.
Where did embryos come from?
So, well, first of all, always the shout out to the head honcho, the big cheese, Kevin Lin, who at the time, as we were sitting, and I was about a month or so in, we started to talk about how we would market what we were about to do, and really that's with Kevin, we say he's famous for throwing grenades, into a discussion, and so. He was looking at what we have done, especially if you look back at the Play to Mint, as a sort of foundational moment. Like that was a program created by the team for the first collection, and there was something in his head about we have to do something different. We don't just want to release a collection. We actually want there to be an experience. We want there to be immersion, and so. That began the journey of coming back to our larger group of creatives and some of the team leads and starting to talk about what we could do that would be different. And you always start big and wide and you tighten it up. And so we kind of knew that the Gribble, for example, was in our sights, but we didn't, just getting right to the Gribble just didn't feel like it was going to be in our world like enough. So we wanted to kind of innovate again, come back to the drawing board, and then we decided to start talking. We started talking with folks about how we would get in between, and the egg comes up. Hey, Gribbles start somewhere. They start as an egg, and then it starts to be thrown towards Bernie, the lore team, and then where does it go from there? What would you say? What would you say from there? How did you start to take that in?
I don't think what I want to say. So, totally understand the egg concept. Okay. And so the team, again, going back to the DNA of what we are, we're a games company, right? So there's got to be some type of game mechanic, gameplay system tied to the egg. And I think I can say very confidently, we as a team are incredibly proud of this because there's a game mechanic with the egg and there's a separate game you play to power the game mechanic for the egg. I think it's amazing. I think it's just so cool that we're doing this at this complexity. So coming from the content side, I'm like, okay, narrative wise, I go, all right, there's Gribble eggs. Cool. It makes sense. If you're going to say Gribbles have an egg form, they hatch, right? So what is the inherent gameplay aspect? Is it to collect the eggs? Well, or is it to hatch the eggs, or is it to power up the eggs, or is it all three? Okay. So the collecting part is covered in kind of the mint system, like, oh, you get to play the mints, right? And then the powering up system comes from, okay, the need of a game. So now we need a game to be tied to, sorry if you hear that. Now we need a game to be tied to the egg powering up, all right? So now the story part comes in. So the writing team, the creative team, put our heads together and we go, okay, we think that the narrative is that we are called DuskBreakers. There's a ship called the Dusk, and we need to break it. So it made natural sense to say we need to build a game that features the breakers going to the Dusk, getting things to power up the eggs. So it all works together. Everything informs the next, right? Eggs are coming. Gameplay. You need a gameplay need here, and now you need to have a story need that needs to support the gameplay. So what ended up happening after a lot of very talented people came together, had a lot of great conversations, and were playing with stuff and like what type of game do we want to make. We came up with what eventually collectively became Twilight Shift, which, as I said earlier, as in contrast to our first games, this game is not a game about shooting and killing everything. This game is a strategic game that requires some thought process and consequence to exerting violence, right? And it's been really cool. And I think that the games team was really pushed to a limit, and they were continually challenged in great ways, where the quality of the game to me is incredible, like incredible. How are we going to get this game out? And I don't even remember how many months it was, like 4, right? March, right? We're talking about this in March. It's not in September. Like it's like 4 or 5 months, and this is the quality of the game that they were able to put together. It's spectacular to me. And so here we are, and then finding the synergy of all these things together, from immersive story to experiences, lore, narrative lore, gameplay, as I mentioned, and having them all be, hopefully you all think when you do them all, very strong experiences, especially given the speed of which we've developed these. So that's my thought there. Sorry, it's a little long-winded, but
no, that's how it goes, right? Like this is how serious the planning is. Like we don't just say, okay, great, we're just going to do this thing good. Like the game Twilight Shift didn't exist yet, and so it was brought to life because of this process. And then the other content along the way were new ideas. You'll see Jen later with the visual novel that was that she concepted and brought to bear, and the UI experience, the interactive web experience that people will see as well. All these pieces had to come together. So you can imagine all the different trains that had to leave the station and then come back together, put the pieces together to make Voltron. So that's what we're trying to do here is one big Voltron. I think Voltron's always like a favorite Kevin analogy, but yeah. And so I think if we kind of go along with this, getting consent, getting everybody to just come on board. Every team has to then pitch in, and you still have to keep the rest of the ship afloat. And so start making those plans. And we were still making you showed it earlier. We were still making the cinematics, and then you start making a cinematic, right? You start making the Payday cinematic, and you start Bernie. Yeah. So like talk about that too. Like you're really like you're finding the beats within this storyline to figure out how we start to connect the dots.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one where this is a little behind the curtain thing. It's like when you're doing 3D, and this, I'm new to this, 3D assets, and shout outs to our binging 3D teams in Taiwan. I see Nelson, I think it's Nelson in the chat, who leads our oversees our Taiwan teams and our artists and the game designers there. So the artists, you need assets, right? So you can't just say, hey, I'm imagining all these things happening together and all these people happening together. They need to be built and modeled and so forth. So it becomes like a strategy of like, all right, we need to continue to expand our assets. What do we have so far? What do we need, and what will we need in the future? And so that became the Payday video, which is the video you saw at the beginning of the stream, which we actually will play again in a couple minutes here, where you have a breaker smuggling Gribble eggs down the Kinshasa lift. Lore page now online, which, by the way, if you haven't seen that yet. So that was the concept of that video came together because of the way I saw it was like the development of the needs and where we were going as a franchise. It's like, all right, we have 3D breaker models that we're building. Cool, let's use one. We have Stu the Scheduler, who's a character we've seen before. exist in 2D. Let's build her in 3D. Cool. We need to show these eggs because we're going this route. Great. How do we play those together? And that became the Payday video, which has a little bit of humor, a little bit of world building, right? It tells you about the Kinshasa lift. It shows you how it looks inside. It's a cool looking set, right? And it shows you the eggs, and it shows you Sue floating in 3D. So this is the way. I mean, just to be kind of going back to the way I look at storytelling, and when I run productions, we did this with Artificial, by the way, that was on Twitch. It's like, what do we have? What can we show? And what can we get? Like that's coming up, right? And what do we need coming up? So that's like in live productions, like what sets do you need to build? Okay, can we use this set again? Cool. Like we're always going to need the lift. It's not like something we're just going to do one not use again. Like that's a very, very important location. It's literally the in between Earth and the Dusk spaceship. So that thing is not going anywhere. Like we're definitely going to see that again. And so like let's have the team build this. Let's use our breakers. Let's use our Sue. Let's tell a story. Let's get those eggs in there, and it all works together, and you have that great cinematic. And you can see also the development of our visual style. Credit to the artist, Gears, of course, who's drawn there. Look at him go. Jonas, who's in Sweden, probably asleep. Shout out to Jonas. David, our chief design officer and co-founder, leading the teams, and all the other artists we have. Juan, Brian, who's in China, so he's probably awake now. But like all those people coming together and making this amazing piece and pushing the art forward. So like if you look at the visual art style of the Payday video, it is a leap forward than the art style of the Beast Battler cinematic and the Corrupted cinematic, and as we continue to evolve. So there's my long story there. But yeah, I don't know if you ever told that story. But
yeah,
there you
go. I don't think you have either. There's a new story for you. You put it in the back pocket. And you have it for the future. So just Josh, I know you're the host du jour. We're buying a little bit of time on the Mint, I know, because we're finishing up the OpenSea page. So just bear with us. There was a little bit of a hiccup earlier with Etherscan that kind of slowed us down. So we've got the momentum, and the team is working on it. So we're still talking. So we have some more stuff to do here. Josh, you want to continue to lead us to victory?
Yeah, I'll chime in. I was going to also address that. Obviously, people are starting to fill into the Twitch chat to ask about Mint. So obviously, right at 6 p.m. is when we would have loved to have everything refresh. You can expect that there will be some delays, as lots of moving parts always happen, especially a very large, complicated Mint like we have. It's actually not even that complicated. It's just large. So obviously the claim and Mint and play to Mint, we want to start any moment now. But as Jason mentioned a second ago, OpenSea, Etherscan, all these other things sometimes can take unknown amounts of time. So thankfully for the stream, we did plan a little bit of buffer here to have the three of us on talking to all of you while Gears is doing this lovely illustration. I personally use the previous wallpaper that he made as my own PC wallpaper and on my socials and stuff because it's so good. So I'm very much looking forward to having more quick draw Gears art to work with. But again, just for the Mint questions, the website, there's !site and !mint that are both in chat, and you can actually learn about the intended flow there if you click on either one of those. So definitely keep an eye on the site, as it should be flipping over whenever we're ready, but we'll keep you updated as we're here, of course, hosting this show. So I want to touch on just a couple of things back to the how did we get here, Gribble Eggs, Twilight Shift, etc. Filling space, creating something to quickly occupy this stretch of time. My thought back when was like, okay, what new game design could we even do in a quick, amount of time? And I'm here like napkin sketching like Pac-Man, top down. Gribbles are kind of like the ghosts, and you just have to avoid them and grab their stuff when they're not around. And that just morphed like very rapidly. And they're like, here's our first sample, and it just blew my mind how much they had done just from like napkin concepts to here's basically a playable dungeon that's every time you play it, it's different, and here's some animated Gribbles, and we can make them dance and all this stuff. So I was like, wow, they definitely, they've been waiting, right? The game team that we are working with, the Vision Studio, they were eager to start, and they make stuff without us asking, and show us behind the scenes a lot. That's stuff I get excited for, and obviously we'll be able to show more and more of through the incubation stretch as we get closer to the Gribble game, as I'm going to call it for short. But then, yeah, Bernie and Jason, good insights there for how we got to the Gribble eggs and the Twilight Shift. Gears, I really like this grayscale. I'm curious if he is going to color it or if he plans on coloring it.
He's going to tattoo it on my back.
I don't know if he lost
Say
him or
again,
not.
Gears? You started.
Oh, it says sure. I love it. I was like, this is like, what movie is that? It's like Interstellar now.
Interstellar. That's where you went. All right, cool.
Korok asking how to mint. It is going to be, momentarily, slight delays, no ETA just yet, but obviously keep an eye on the website.
We are all waiting. Like
earlier, Petrify in the chat did point out when we were talking about the evolution of Twilight Shift and all the story stuff that goes around it. It's like, the classic game dev problem. I don't want to misquote him, but it was basically narrative first or gameplay first, right? And for us, it was solve this problem, and then we can write around it or design around it.
It was eggs first. It was eggs first, and then narrative, I believe. I'm here online, and we can ask Nick later. I believe narrative went second here, and then gameplay went. Let's take this narrative and do it. So I'm pretty sure this is accurate. Nick was the one who really got inspired by the kind of the idea of what the story of the game needed to accomplish, and then he came up with this gameplay of a kind of a stealth mechanic. So I'm gonna give full credit over there. But yeah, I think again this is the team working together, some greater than its parts. The power of it of synergizing where egg comes first. Essentially, Kevin and co and the leads give us egg. We in narrative on the narrative team have to then come up with, okay, what's the gameplay that relates to egg? What do we need? What do we need the narrative to be to do that? And then gameplay comes in, game design comes in and goes, okay, we're gonna take this narrative and do it. So at the very, very, very basic level, I'm saying this very basically, it's here are eggs that need to be powered up. Okay, narrative goes, well, we as DuskBreakers need to go up on the ship to get a thing to power up the eggs. All right, and then gameplay goes. And also I'll add one more.
I got one for you. How do the eggs get off of the dusk? How do they bring them back?
They have to be smuggled. We have to figure that out. Like how does the smuggling system work? Which we did. We figured it out. All right, we have it. All right, it's like we have it. And to be clear, even in the Payday video, which shows the smuggling happen, you're like, wait, where's the security? Like, where's the? Yeah. Well, you just don't see that part. You don't. They're already on the plane. Like the bag is on the plane. The security's before that. So that's kind of what happened there. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So the on the game design part with the narrative, it was also like, because the eggs are a forbidden item in our world, in order to go get the thing you need to power the eggs, you should also go up to a forbidden place on the dusk. And so then now the details come in. Why is it forbidden? What makes it forbidden? Why did the Dusk Tech make this zone forbidden? Is it just because they're assholes, or because there's actually a reason, right? So all of this is now layers of narrative coming on top of each other, one after the other, and making the entire experience stronger as we're building. And yeah, it just, I've enjoyed it. Like, it's certainly been a lot of crazy, stressful work in a good way, very challenging in a good way, but I've definitely enjoyed it, and the product is really, really, I'm really proud of it, and I'm a pretty honest person. I'm very proud of what we've built, in this experience. I think it's multi-platform. It synergizes really well. It's on theme with DuskBreakers. It's fun, right? Art's great. Like, I'm good. This is amazing. So yeah, good times, man. Good times. I'm not. My eyes are just going down to the art here with Gears and going,
Yeah.
ooh, what's that? Neat. Any questions? So how to win when mint? As we said, we're kind of just waiting to the okay from our team. You're gonna see the whole site flip. The entire website is going to flip when this happens. But if you want, there's a couple of things that are already there that you can look at, which we've added a couple of new lore pages that are brand new to the site. You click on DuskBreakers GG/lore, I think is where it is. And you can see we added 3 new web pages there. We've also updated a couple of the pages a little bit and refreshed a lot of the art there to really expand this world out. So if you're new coming in to our story world, you got some things to see. It's going to be fun. So cool. Game is everything's at once, right? My understanding is everything comes at once.
Yes.
That's my understanding too.
It's all tied together.
Game, mint, site, all together. So when you build a synergetic system like this, go ahead, Jason.
No, I was going to mention, you guys have started to touch on it earlier. I know that there's going to be a message on the site about for Mac users, we do have a workaround, and I know that you guys are sort of alluding to it, but you didn't complete the potential statement there. So we do have something that we can reveal.
Yes. Everybody can play to mint. You may not be playing the same game, but go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, so the team has been working on a Mac launcher. It needs a little bit more work. This will be soon, but in the meantime, we don't want our Mac users to fall behind. You need to be able to score to get, to obtain OmniGrow in order to evolve, apply it to your eggs and evolve. So what we've done is we're going to turn on the Beast Battler game in the browser. So if you go to dustbreakers.gg/game here pretty soon, it will be available for you to play, especially for Mac users to play. It's all hooked up. If you play it, you'll get the play to mint capability, offering just like those folks on Windows PC who are playing the Twilight Shift. And then secondarily, you will also get points. You'll get your OmniGrow for playing Beast Battler. So we wanted to provide this option. We know that a lot of folks out there, I think what the stats show us about 33% of our holders and various viewers to our site are Mac based, and so we definitely wanted to offer a solution for them.
Good news.
Yay.
Bravo. Yeah, I wasn't sure about the exact details of that.
Yeah, and it'll be listed on the site too. So when people come to the site, they'll be able to see that. So not everybody's here right now. We'll also post it on Twitter and Discord here shortly when all these experiences are up, so that it's backed up by what people will see on the new website for the whole Gribble Eggsperience.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm looking at Discord and seeing if we're missing anything. Everybody just waiting to mint, which is really just like, when mint? Well, I understand.
That's what I'd be there. Yeah.
No,
Doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah, I gotta get my eggs. I gotta level them up.
Oh,
Well, I will also point out we did have, if things were right on time, which we kind of expected they wouldn't be, we do have more guests coming as well to talk about the actual leveling and OmniGrow and all the other cool stuff. But of course, that needs to be live on the site before we can show it off to everybody and kind of walk you through it. We do plan on doing that once the site flips over. If we continue to go on longer and longer, we will bring on Kristen to introduce her and walk through that stuff anyway. We would like to be able to do it live, of course, so just bear with us as we continue to fill for time. And Gears puts the finishing touches here on the breaker face. Just little subtle changes here.
What color are the eyes going to be?
Gribble gold.
We pulled. Oh, Gribble gold. I thought we were going to pull the chat for something here.
Oh, I mean, take suggestions.
Artificial, Bernie.
Artificial eyes.
Last time we tried to use a extension and it didn't quite work.
I actually know what happened. By the way, so we did that in the future. I know what we did wrong.
Gotcha.
There was a.
Petrify asks, can we scramble the Gribble eggs?
No, but
guy.
you can.
Go ahead.
You can what?
No, but you can poach them. I'm kidding.
Hey.
Hey.
So speaking of which, I forget if you got this far in depth on it, but the stealth game, we were talking about the lore, building up to this, and what game type was going to fit into this, and clearly, I think you sort of touched on it a little bit, but we were definitely had some of the staff members, Jen in particular, were making sure too that it wasn't just a straight shooter looter, and that's where the stealth qualities come in. So if you want to cover that, Bernie.
Yeah, totally. So credit to Jen on this. She's very adamant on if you're going to do if Gribble eggs and caring for Gribbles is going to be a thematic thread in our narrative world, you can't just go around putting a game out where you're supposed to murder all the Gribbles, right? It doesn't make it's not thematically connected. So rewarding players for not killing everything was very, very deliberate in our design of our experience here, and so that kind of transitions us into this idea of caring for Gribble eggs, which we're about to do, right, in this experience, and then eventually hatching these Gribble eggs, and then doing things with those Gribble eggs, which I'm not quite recall what we said in our latest Medium post out now, if you want to check it out. But all of that is again all part of this process of really staying true to theme, really staying true to design and narrative and story immersion, and making sure that we're doing this with intention. So that is the pieces there, and then kind of leading to I mean we'll get to it when Jen comes on. We talk about the visual novel experience, but that was also one where hilariously that was also one that came aboard very late as an experience of narrative, where we were already building this game, and then it's hey, this game needs a little bit more narrative to explain the whys of the game, the story experience. So I'll give full credit to Jen of designing this visual novel experience with this character Adrian, DuskBreakers G/Adrian, which we'll get to play also in this. So there's a lot you can do, and I think for us as a collection and as a franchise, it's the things that you got to do as a player, right? As a holder and a player, what was available today or yesterday versus what is available in 20 minutes, whatever time it's going to be, or whatever it be tomorrow. The amount of things that you can do from one day to the next is astronomically different. It's a completely different experience. I don't know do you guys agree? I feel it's a vastly different experience now as a DuskBreaker holder. Once this whole thing launches, of course.
Absolutely. Now we have stuff to do and discuss. Not just the weekend contests that we've been running, and classic mode, which is the smaller offering. So I'm very excited. Even during the the holder playtest, excuse me, we saw a lot of increased buzz and chatter in the actual games discussion chat on Discord. So I'm excited for that to start up again. We've got J. Jimmy and D-Lou and Eddie and lots of gamer brains that I'm sure will be diving right in and dissecting and budgeting and figuring out the optimal strategies for leveling eggs. And I Warlock here in the chat, also part of the DuskBreakers team, definitely a gamer brain. He'll be evolving his eggs as well.
Oh, Josh, I was going to ask you. You were part of the point. Everybody got involved. You were part of the points table team, or what would you call that? Scoring system. So how did that come together as well?
Oh, that's a meaty one. So obviously we were thinking, what benefit do you get from evolving your eggs? We want to have some permanent boosts, some incentive, obviously, for being first in line and starting right away. But we needed a points model, right? How long is this going to run? Okay, divide by X. Do we want someone to be able to level an egg to max without pairing a breaker? Do we want them to be able to level to max without playing Twilight Shift a single time? And so answering lots of questions like that. My take on it was a linear model, so that every action you do is an expected set amount of points that you can budget around. And if you're leveling, in my case, I'm going to be claiming 19 eggs because I have 19 breaker NFTs. Actually budgeting your time each week to level these things up and compare them against, trading or keeping them for the Gribble game, stuff like that. It's a lot to consider as far as we have to keep people from gaming the system and having just 1,000 level 5s in the first week. You have to consider the market and fairness between, a dozen different customer types as well. For example, I said I have 19. Many people in the chat will only have one, maybe one breaker plus the one free egg. Maybe some people will be coming in with just 2 or 3 eggs that they minted and no breakers. So we had to design and try to make it an enjoyable experience for everyone in a 6-week span. So there was a couple of models with like exponential where you could play all night if you wanted to and just get diminishing returns for each extra minute or hour that you played. But from the Beast Battler and my former experience at Blizzard, I just don't really like grinding. It's not really a good measure of anything, right? It's just I prefer head to head and stuff like that. So for points, I didn't want anyone to have to kill themselves over a game trying to just squeeze out as many eggs as they can, when it should be the same for everyone, metered out at least at a similar rate, so that everyone can still have a life and level all their eggs at the same time. Of course, there's always the option of listing, trading. If you have too many eggs to care for, that's a real world problem as well. So just share the wealth, get eggs in more hands. But yeah, point system, very, very tough. Not something I've done a bunch of times. I have designed for contests and tournaments quite a lot, so I knew which end results feel best, basically, and I tried to go for that. But we have a lot of strong, again, gamer brains on the team here. So David Barthwell took a big stab at that. Adam, JT, more recently, the product team, Kristen, who we'll introduce later, definitely got a chance to work with the points system. So it is a little complicated, still pretty straightforward, though. Do the things, get your Omnigrow, level your eggs. You get 6 weeks to do it, and then at the end, they'll all hatch, all the Gribbles, with their glorious bonuses, whatever level you manage to get them to. And hopefully, yeah, that'll be distinctive enough that you'll feel rewarded. So tough task. I am refreshing the website now constantly still, but it is slipping later into the night. We may actually bring on Kristen soon to just kind of walk through the intended experiences and what we can expect to see. Kind of playing that by ear.
Well, so I believe we have Kristen ready now. We can bring on with everybody still here. So let's bring Kristen on. If we have her.
If that's a thing.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
$4.
I'm here. Hey.
$4.
Dang, that's fancy. I did not know.
Check out my background. Oh, wait. I got to go this way. Can you see my cool background?
So now it's only Bernie that doesn't have on-brand art.
Thanks for having me on. I think the last time I was on stream was at TwitchCon Developer Day a few years ago, which was a lot of fun. I'm super excited to be here. I'm the new Chief Product Officer. I've been here for 3 weeks. I guess, should I give a little intro, Bernie?
Yeah, go ahead and give an intro. I know there's some sound thing with Jason and you, but good. Yeah. Kristen, tell us about yourself. Like, where'd you come from? What are you bringing on now? You're so new. You're not even on the website. She's not even on the website.
I know. You gotta update that.
Okay, get
soon. So I can share a little bit about my background. I guess as they shared, I have a lot of experience in product. I'm super excited to be here as the Chief Product Officer based in California. Most recently, I was the CEO of TopGG, which was the largest kind of discovery platform for Discord bots and servers. And we're also working on DAO discovery, so getting into Web3 a little bit. Prior to that, I worked in product roles focusing on community and creators and content ecosystems at Twitch, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. And I also am really passionate about Web3 and have mostly dabbled in the DAO space and was recently the community lead for semester 1 of Crypto Society and Culture, one of the first learning DAOs. So super excited to be here.
Awesome. We're happy to have you here.
Yes, I also worked at SoundCloud. I totally forgot.
Yes. You were like a rapper. I got you. Okay.
Oh my gosh, no, don't put me on the spot like that. I'm not ready for karaoke right now. I'm sorry.
You got some serious flow. Got the rhymes. All right, go ahead.
So yeah, welcome Kristen, obviously, to the stream and to the team here at MetaTheory. It's been great working with you these past few weeks, definitely on such a large undertaking as soon as you got here too. So we definitely needed your help and are happy to have it now. So for this portion of the show, we were going to go ahead and step through the live website, and we were going to use my own, wallet and claims and kind of just show things procedurally. Go ahead.
Go further with that. Can you one thing, Kristen? Jason? Can you hear Kristen? And can you guys hear each other?
No. This is the strangest thing.
It's okay.
All right. Eat me. I'll eat. Okay. How about that? Let Kristen come in. You guys, yeah. Push me out. Let Kristen have a shot here so that I can get out of here.
Okay.
We'll take care of some other things. Thanks.
Well,
thanks for having me, everybody. Jason. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, man. So Kristen, can you update? Just because we've been on stream so time, like what's going on? Where are we in the process? What are we waiting for? That you feel like you want to speak to? Yes.
Absolutely. So the team has been grinding, for I guess I feel like, past couple of weeks and especially this week to make sure everything is going to be a great experience for y'all. Right now, I just left another meeting where we're all kind of huddled virtually, testing everything to make sure it's working as intended. So I can't give an exact time, but I can say soon. I will let you know any updates immediately as we get them in from the team. So right now we're just, making sure everything, claiming, minting, etc., is working properly.
Gotcha. Security, huh?
Yes. Yes.
I gotcha.
Very, very important for Web 2, but especially in Web 3.
Mm-hmm. So there's our small update for when mint. Obviously, we're now about 30 minutes past, but hopefully momentarily we'll be able to start up. If it does go further into the night, obviously we'll continue to update you. We do have the stream at least planning to run until another hour and a half. So we've got built-in buffer, kind of expecting, hiccups, delays, etc. So now this portion of the stream, thankfully we still have Gears here illustrating so that we have a lovely visual. But the article that I've pulled up, I also dropped in the chat as !mint there for anyone who wants to kind of follow along. But product is basically for this launch very much tied to all the website experiences that we're going to be having. So just referencing my sheet here real quick, we've already introduced you. We've got the incubator kind of to talk about, OmniGrow, missions. We would talk a little bit more about the actual claim and mint process, but that's not showing right now. So I guess the incubator and the incubator sort of system, OmniGrow, missions, if we can talk about it high level without visuals, where do you think you would first start to tell someone about what they're doing with their eggs?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've designed this very fun, engaging Gribble experience where you're going to incubate your Gribble eggs and then level them up to hatch the strongest Gribble possible. So you're probably wondering how you level up your eggs. Maybe this was covered earlier, but I'll just share it for sake of clarity. You're going to collect OmniGrow, which is a miracle substance made of duskite materials. And there's a couple ways to collect OmniGrow. One is just by simply holding your eggs. You'll get some OmniGrow. Second is if you pair an egg with a breaker, that also gives you more OmniGrow. And then third is playing our very exciting new game, Twilight Shift. Thank you to everyone who is participating in the play test and giving us some great feedback. But if you play Twilight Shift at any time during the 6-week incubation period, you'll get OmniGrow. The more you play, the more OmniGrow you'll get, which is really exciting. There's also a couple other fun ways. I think Bernie was mentioning that Jen is going to come on in a bit to share a little bit more about the visual novel. So you can earn OmniGrow by checking out the story and visiting what we're calling Adrian's Sanctuary, which is really exciting. And then last but not least, we have some really fun weekly missions for you to complete to earn even more OmniGrow. And those are going to be updated every Monday. So I won't spoil those for now, but that's kind of a high level overview. And I think another fun piece that you'll hopefully see visuals for very soon is as you kind of level up your eggs, you'll see the egg actually evolve in the different images. So actually, I guess it's on the right of the screen. If you see mint Gribble eggs, you'll see different images per level. And we also have we have 3 different stages. So every 2 weeks, there's a new stage. I won't spoil too much there, but you'll see your eggs evolve with each stage. I think I hit everything. Let me know if I forgot anything.
That was a pretty great summary. Yeah.
I guess I almost forgot. I wanted to show my off topic, but I am rocking these nails for Meta Theory and Dusk nails. I don't know. My camera's not really. Oh, can you see them?
Wait, that's doing well. That's doing well.
Can you see the Dusk? Oh, do you see them? Yeah.
They look good.
My Meta Theory and Dusk nails. I just wanted to show them off on stream.
Well, I have my Meta Theory DuskBreakers toenails painted, but I'll spare everyone. Go ahead, Bernie.
Yeah, I was gonna make another joke, but
I gotcha first.
You got me. You beat me. It's all good. You don't need to go there.
So yeah, definitely a good description of the incubator, the OmniGrow, the missions. I do see a lot of people in chat saying nice, LOL. So if you guys have any questions currently for Kristen, do start writing those. I'm gonna ask some nitpicky questions, I guess, that I don't know. No, okay. Maybe it was only a second. I'm back. Can everyone hear me okay?
You're back? Okay, that's everybody?
I don't hear Bernie or okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that the stream can still hear.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yep.
I think stream.
Excellent. Okay, yeah. My whole computer hung for like a second.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
I can hear you, Joe.
All good now. It seems, and it does seem that Twitch is still there. Yep.
Yeah.
I do hear you.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're back.
So I feel like we're all back now. I totally lost my train of thought, but the nitpicky questions, that people were asking about OmniGrow.
Wait, I will add one thing. Apparently, the toenail
now I'm curious
is a violation of terms of service. Oh, I'm losing again.
Oh.
Okay. All right. This could be Skype. Could be anything happening here. But I think we're still running. The stream is going well. So back to OmniGrow and weird questions. Kristen, you can hear me.
I have some breaking news, actually. Yes. Can you hear me okay? I have some breaking news. Hopefully everyone can hear me. So the latest update is
I do hear you.
Site is going to go live in 10 minutes. So Site will be live in 10 minutes.
Yay. Excellent.
10 minutes. I'll save the air horn for the actual
A little bit of
live.
weird confusion there in the last minute. Just confirming finally. Bernie, you hear me? Okay, I don't know if Bernie can hear me.
Delay.
Something was disrupted.
It's cutting in and out and has
speak.
a little bit of delay.
Okay, so whatever happened earlier, that little blip, the hosts are hearing each other a little bit delayed, but production's on it right now. Hopefully everyone heard that and we didn't talk over each other, but in about 10 minutes, the website looks like it'll be updated.
Yeah, go to Josh.
So we're just organizing here our production. Something happened. It's like lightning struck or something. We're running production across multiple programs here, so we're just trying to get everything back up to speed. We're probably going to take Bernie and Kristen off the call and bring it back on. But anyway, we now have an ETA for the site, so that's lovely. Not even an hour passed, so it's pretty good. Thank you, everybody, for your patience, of course. And welcome to the stream, obviously, if you've been filtering in. Discord is where all of our community is hanging out right now. I'll go ahead and link that again in the Twitch chat. If you're not in there yet, now's the best time to join. So if you have any questions, again, I think we covered quite a lot. There's Bernie again.
Sound
Can
test.
you hear me, Mr. Bernie?
Can you hear me okay? Sound.
I do hear you. Do you hear me?
Oh, there's a delay. Can you hear me?
I do hear you just fine.
Wow, there's a massive delay. The delay is really bad. Go back to Joshy. Go back to Joshy.
Somehow it's gotten... Okay.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? It's just me. We're just cycling everybody in and out of the system. We're doing a remote system here. Look at that counter, that timer, 7 minutes. So yeah, I know we were sounding okay. It's just that we had this massive delay. Like it would be like a couple seconds. So then that's how you end up talking over each other. And that's what's going down. What's up, Josh? You back?
Testing. I am back. I'm testing. It looks like it's back to regular.
Sounds good.
I'm gauging your reaction. Cool.
Okay. Wait. So I'm going to wave at you, and you wave back at me. All right, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. And Kristen's back too. Look at there she is.
Oh, there we go.
Punching the key. Punching the keys.
Excellent. I think we're back to the status quo now. It's only a second or two difference where it got really bad there for a stretch, so we were talking over each other. But now everything's cool and we all hear each other. And Gears has continued to just draw like nothing ever happened because he was unaffected. So I appreciate that. All right, now back to the train of thought we had before, which was the Omnigrow, the missions, the incubator. Now we know that we're going to be witnessing this firsthand very soon, but we do have other stuff to show off as well and talk about. So Kristen, thank you for that brief overview, but a couple of questions that people had were about Omnigrow and how it is tracked. So for example, if I have a breaker and an egg and I pair them and I go to Twilight Shift and I come back and I have some Omnigrow, do I have to spend it on that egg? Can I wait? Can I buy another egg off of OpenSea and spend that Omnigrow on the new egg instead? Can you tell us just a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great question. So Omnigrow is tracked against your DuskBreakers account or your breaker ID. So let's say if you have, let's say you have 5 different eggs and 5 breakers, you're collecting lots of points. Points are going to accumulate in your account, and then you are empowered to apply them to whichever egg you want to. So for example, let's say you accumulate 5,000 points. You could apply a couple hundred to each egg. You could level up one egg first. It's really up to you. Right now, that's manual, but next week we have some exciting features planned where we're going to be introducing favoriting an egg and then also kind of distributing points across them.
Cool.
So 100% up to you.
Mind blown.
Still designing for every sort of customer there. Yes. Trying to, get out what you put in with the Omnigrow and the tasks that you actually achieve. So definitely a good system there. And then the level of the eggs, we've mentioned it a few times, basically starts at 1, can level all the way to 5. You did mention stages as well. Those are going to be time gates. So we do have a number of different looks for the eggs. I suppose the next question would be, how is the egg actually tracked? How will you know it's a higher level or that eggs have been had Omnigrow spent on them, for example?
Yes, great question. I have some, or I get to see the website behind the scenes, which will be live soon. So one very cool area on our website is the egg section. And so we've designed a kind of little collection space for you where you can see all of your beautiful Gribble eggs and you can see what level they are, how many points you've applied. As we kind of go through the stages and you level up your eggs, you'll visually see that there. You also would be able to refresh that on OpenSea, We are working on refreshing that as well, but you can always kind of just click refresh and see it reflected there too, in terms of image.
Yep. And I'm linking once more. The exclamation point mint article does have just a couple of little preview, or actually maybe it was the other article that we posted, but on the website there are a couple of preview images, and in of course just a few minutes should be seeing a live refresh of the site momentarily as well. I'm just reading all of our little production channels. Okay, looks like we're still waiting on that refresh. I'm actually now hitting Control-R constantly on my own browser. Bernie, anything else we'd like to ask Kristen about specifically?
I'm also looking at all these like messages going back and forth. Very cool. I guess Kristen, I guess like how's your experience been so far? Because you just started like 3 weeks ago, and yes. You've just been thrown in. It's like here's all this stuff happening like all at once. How's it been?
Yeah, so I think I can fully say I right before this I was at a much smaller company, and we had when I started there it was 4 of us, and then we were at 14, and so it was really fun to come into I believe our company is a little under 60 people, which is really exciting. So it was so fun to come in, just work with people all over the world, lots of great energy. And I think one thing that stood out was just everyone who's part of the DuskBreakers or Meta Theory team and also the community is just so passionate and kind and friendly. I'm just really excited about what we're building, loves games, excited about Web3. That was really great. And I was actually just talking to one of our newest hires, who's a blockchain engineer, and we were saying that it's been chaotic. It's always chaotic if you join right before a huge launch, but it's also part of the fun. It's kind of like drinking from the fire hose, right? You're just thrown into the fire. So it's been a lot of fun. I guess it's so nice to kind of work with old friends such as Kevin and then also JT. I'd worked with them at Twitch, and then also just work with so many new friends and get to work with other folks who were also part of the Twitch family that I didn't happen to know at Twitch. So it's been really amazing so far, and I would definitely say it's just things are crazy. We're building in Web3, we're testing new stuff, we're pushing the bears for innovation, but we also find a way to have fun doing it.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's been awesome having you, and I'll say like I've never drank out of a fire hose before, so I'm like, let's try to think of that analogy. Boom. All good. But yeah, it's been really really awesome having you here. It's I'm oh okay. I saw a note from Kevin, but it's been really awesome having you here, and I'll say like we I don't know if we make it without you. So.
Oh, thank you. No, it's been so great to be here. It's a lot of fun being, I guess, the first product hire and getting to build out the product team, product process, etc. And I think one thing that really excites me about Web3 that I felt was almost missing from Web2 is that it really grants you the opportunity to build with and for the community in a way that was just not possible before. So it's been.
I mean, I'm curious actually. Yeah. Because I've been going into this launch. I've been in a couple public discussions, clubhouses, and so forth about Web3, gaming, Web3, film 3, because I come from entertainment. Like, why is that? Like, what specifically do you see that makes it so much more dynamic as a game?
So for some context, I guess having had the opportunity to work at a lot of different kind of content and creator ecosystems, with gaming at Twitch, I guess different types of lifestyle creators at Pinterest, and then also artists at SoundCloud. I think something that was always on my mind as a product leader of those companies was, okay, how do we build, products that empower creators, especially creators who, want to make a living from this as a full-time role, and then also kind of, create community. And I think one thing we always struggled with was like, okay, how do we, involve the community more, like at these Web2 companies? And I think when I discovered, like, we would do research, et cetera, have conferences, but I think what was really special to me about Web3, and I guess I'll share that with Web3, I kind of went down the rabbit hole last September and really focused in on DAOs. for anyone new to Web3 on the stream, DAOs are sort of like a community with a shared bank account. And I felt like, this technology around blockchain, but also specifically DAOs unlock this new way where you could actually allow your community to, almost have like a stake or a piece of the product you're building. Or I think, as we've talked about, right, like it's so cool, I have a breaker and I can actually activate that breaker and play MetaTheory's games with my breaker. I can't really think of any, like that's just something that's so special about Web3. And I think also the ability to, have a kind of opinion or involvement in the, future roadmap. It's kind of brought to a new level in Web3 that just wasn't available in Web 2. And I also think the transparency of Web 3 is really special. Like you're really building in public. Everything's on the blockchain. So those are just kind of a few of my I guess observations as someone who's kind of made that transition from Web 2 to full time into Web 3.
Nice. Excellent. Very, very, very exciting. Yeah, I mean, it's always curious. Like I being kind of traversing both industries and not by no means being an expert in Web3 tech, I feel that like the Web3 or the Film 3 side of things, it was like okay, dude, are they really pushing or are they just, saying, right? And not saying they are, not saying they aren't, but I'm always curious what people's answers are that. So I think that's really fascinating. Very, very cool. Wait, so I know the timer, we finished the timer. It's technically past 10 minutes. Still waiting, right? Do you see any updates that I'm not aware of, Kristen?
I'm gonna check in with the team right now to see what's going on, but I do want to let everyone know that we, as Bernie was saying, security is super important to us. We also care a lot about building a really great end-to-end experience for everyone. And so there's a high quality bar, and we really want to make sure that we are hitting that before we, bring something live.
Yep.
Always. I will add that I saw that in our general chat on Discord. There's been a kind of that now we're in the egg pun war. It's hilarious. if you like puns.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, that's Kristen, great talking to you. I actually think we could go ahead and get Jen up next. Similar, where time we stalled a little bit to try to get the site up in time for you, but it looks like we're still working that out. So perhaps time to get the next guest going and discuss some other fun stuff we got going on. But thank you very much for all of your help. Obviously, we've said it a few times now.
Wait, so I realized that what we can do is we can go to the visual novel experience. It's just out of order, right? So
it'll be fine now.
Cool. Let's just do it. All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me, and really amazing to, I guess, meet some more folks from the DuskBreaker community and in Twitch chat. I'm gonna go get back to work for launch, and we'll have that out soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much, Kristen. And Zach will get you off broadcast. There is the wipe, so she's free to go. And awesome. Gears still drawn away. What a champ. Thanks so much, Gears, for having these strong visuals.
We come back. So the next thing we'll go to, I'm gonna message Zach. So I'm gonna go bring Jen on. You take a breather, Joshy. Because I'm gonna do the visual novel experience with Jen. Absolutely. And then we'll kind of revert back. All right, cool. Okay. That's the plan. Zach's got it. Let's do it. Bring on Jen. When you're ready, I'll need to come back on to share my screen for this part of the experience. So whenever Jen's ready, throw her on the screen. And the egg puns are amazing. Jen, can you hear me? Jen, your audio is off. So we'll let that happen. That's Jen. Anyway, this is really fun. Oh, I'm like really zoomed in now. Good thing I have this to adjust. Oh, look at that. We are here. Check your mic settings in Skype, Jen. We are here at the Eggsperience. Is the mint delayed? I'm seeing in Discord. I mean, technically yes, but we are minutes away. The egg puns are hilarious. Discord. We are trying to build
Hello?
an excellent experience.
I hope it's really bad audio.
Check your audio settings, Jen. Very, very. We hear you.
Is
this
okay?
Very. It sounds like you're in the middle of a room.
Yeah, unfortunately, my microphone is not being picked up by Skype.
Ooh.
So sorry about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is not terrible. You just sound very echoey a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear myself as well.
Do we want to troubleshoot that? Up to you, Zach. Or we can just go into the experience. Okay, cool. I'm going to load in on the Zoom side so I can show you what we're talking about in a second. Give me a second. There's a lot of technology going on. There's like 3 different platforms that we're working on right now. It's
this
bizarre.
Is what it's like being at a remote first company.
It's insane. Oh, sorry, my bad. I am. Jen, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do for your company?
I'm Jen. I'm a narrative designer here at MetaTheory, and I'm here to share with you Adrian's Sanctuary, which is our brand new Choose Your Own Adventure visual novel. I unfortunately cannot hear you, Bernie, but I can hear myself twice.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. This is a little shenanigans. Okay. Almost ready. Okay, it's cool. Zach, show my screen. Wait, am I showing my screen? Yeah, I am. No? There we go. And that's Joshy. Bring Jen back. Me and Jen. Hilarious.
Hello.
My guess is that you ordered. All right, Jen, tell us about this amazing visual novel experience.
Yes. So Adrian's Sanctuary is one of many parts of our experience, and in this story you get to interact with Adrian, a rogue scientist attempting to hatch Gribble eggs on Earth. And of course, Adrian needs your help to bring his experiment to life. So, let me just adjust this. So our goal with Adrian's Sanctuary was to narratively tie each component of the experience and Gribble launch together and bring everyone into the world of DuskBreakers. So with your interactions with Adrian, you will immerse yourself in the underground world of the Shadow District, uncover some of the dark secrets that lie behind DustTech's closed doors, and of course, you also get to hang out with Adrian's adorable alien friend Asha, which is there perched up on his shoulder. And she is very adorable. I'm very excited about this. This art was all created by Gears, and as everyone has seen, he is quite amazing. So the main story of this is going to run 16 chapters, and we are releasing 3 chapters every single week, and each chapter will have different secrets to uncover and different choices you can make. And you can find these chapters in the Story tab of the Experience Hub on our website once that gets completely rolled into the new site and the Mint is live. So one thing that we're really excited here is at MetaTheory, our goal is to create a fully immersive story world that spans across all of our platforms. So not only will you be able to experience the story through Adrian's Sanctuary, but you will also get to experience it through secret documents in the lower section of our website, and of course by exploring the Dusk and Twilight Shift, which you will hear more about a little bit later in this stream. And one thing that was also very important to us is that one thing that we want to do is create experiences that invite our community to not only play in the world that we've created, but to also help shape it as well. So when we first launched DuskBreakers, we invited our community to create characters in our world live on stream via a collection of polls and chat input. That was when our first collection launched, the original DuskBreakers PFPs. And we've since incorporated many of those characters into new story content, including features in our webcomic Jolie's Journey, which I think Bernie mentioned a little bit. So I have a fancy little graphic that I clumsily put together before the stream. If you want to switch to the next one, Bernie. Yes, so here you can see Eddie and Kane, who were 2 characters created on that first live stream by our community, our Twitch audience. And we most recently incorporated them into the webcomic. So you can see on the left you have Eddie there, who was introduced in, I think, the 2nd chapter. And then on the right is Kane, who's made a couple of appearances, and hopefully you will get to see him again soon. And we also most recently gave the power to our community once again to create the antagonist of this very same comic in a Mad Lib style contest. And here the winner was Lil Yuzu, who created a breaker named Yuzu, who was released in our most recent comic of the most recent chapter of the webcomic. Got my words a little tangled there. So we also want to do something similar for Adrian's Sanctuary. We also plan to invite you to help shape the world, and you will be able to ask questions for Adrian, which will be featured in upcoming chapters. So keep an eye out on our Discord and other social media platforms for more announcements on that. And of course, keep your eyes peeled because some of our previously community-created characters may cross paths with our rogue scientist. So everyone on the writing and lore team worked really hard to bring this story to you, and of course we had so much help from everyone on our team. We're a small team, and every single person helped QA this, helped be a part of this story, and so we're so excited to invite you into the world of Twilight Shift and the era of Gribbles. I'm not going to give any story spoilers, because I hope everyone gets a chance to play how they want to play, because it is Choose Your Own Adventure. But when the site goes live, I hope you all check out Adrian's Sanctuary. We're going to be releasing new chapters Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, every single chapter you play will earn you Omni growth points to level up your eggs. So that is the gist of it. I know there's a lot to uncover. Bernie, do you think I missed anything in that?
No, that was very comprehensive. So I want to clarify a couple of things that you very elegantly went over because there's a lot here, and it's really beautiful of an experience. This visual novel experience. And so one thing, as we set this up, so Jen and I, just give you our history. Jen and I worked together on Artificial. We won a Peabody, an Emmy, and a Webby for that experience for Twitch. And one of our ethoses going in that we developed through that experience was that we were making the audience consequential. And what do we mean by that? Is that when you are in a interactive experience, that does not necessarily mean you are consequential. You may be interacting, but you aren't like canonically changing things for good. And so there are different levels of this, and I'm not trying to say that, say, a narrative-based game is not consequential, because it is in a sense that you get to choose your own adventure or choose a narrative, but you don't. Because you get to reset it, you essentially aren't consequential because you can unkill yourself, right? And death should be a consequence. And so taking this to another level of the work we did at Artificial, which was a highly consequential series in my very honestly biased opinion, and is the most innovative scripted show to date in the that's ever been done. Some will beat it, maybe us, maybe it won't be us, but the innovation level in that was that because it was live and serialized, the show was consequential. This was on Twitch, on stream and so forth, and we wanted to bring, when Jen and I joined this team on Meta Theory, we wanted to bring that kind of method and point of view and ethos to the storytelling here. And so what we do is we find ways to make you, the audience, the holders, consequential to the narrative. It doesn't mean that everything is consequential, right? But you could find ways for it to be consequential. And so in this example here, perfect example, is that Yuzu, little Yuzu, puts his character in the canon, and everybody acknowledges that his character is canon. It's not just his singular experience that only he gets to do. Yep. It's everybody. So little Yuzu is the rival for everybody. It's for everybody. So that's the kind of thing here. And so going back to, wait a second, let me make sure. But going back to like your for the visual novel, as she mentioned, so you have 3 chapters a week, right? Correct?
Mm-hmm. 3 chapters a week.
And you have, yep. And you have, but we have written, not me, but like the team has written. I want to give them the credit. Has written many chapters in advance. Okay, but you also are building in a node where the audience can ask Adrian questions, and that Adrian will answer them for everybody, right?
Yep, they're going to become a part of the world, completely canonized. So the things that you ask in Discord, on Twitter, when we make that available to everyone, will become a part of not just the world of Adrian, but the world of DuskBreakers as a whole. So you may even have the opportunity to help us invent new things in our world.
Amazing. So that's the thing where I'm always excited about. Jen knows this. She's been working with me for many years, and she's been able to really flex those guns in this experience, designing this thing, and we're really excited for you to showcase this. Kind of going back to one of the stories we were talking about earlier, Jen, the speed of this all.
Yes.
How fast did this experience come aboard the system? Do you remember?
Well, this experience, it happened pretty suddenly, but the amazing thing is because we have so many talented folks at our company that even though it happened really fast, like the quality is very high because everyone is working really hard and everyone is a good talent. So our writing team is quite small. It's only about 4 people, and we've managed to put together a very comprehensive 16 chapters of branching upon branching narrative in probably about a month or 2. And things were changing along the way. And that's kind of like part of working at a new company, working at a startup. But it's also very exciting because we were able to react pretty quickly to what our community was interested in too, which is exactly what we were very excited about when we do the responses for like this. This is a perfect example for this Breaking Mad Libs contest you have on the screen. I believe the winner was announced in, what was it, within like a week or so, the character was in the webcomic?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were really celebrating about this. So what we had designed was that we knew we were going to bring in a rival character for Jolie. We put this thing out as a contest, and we timed it to the point, and then you and I have done this, right? Like we timed it to the point that we needed the data in at a certain date. We needed the winner at a certain point, and we put it at the very last minute. So when Chapter 6 was about to be published, like we could enter in, which ended up being Yuzu, right after. And so once it was announced, like he was mentioned in the comic like right away. I think it was a week. It was like literally a week in comic. And like what comic can do that? Like what comic publishing system can do that speed? And so when we look at that, and then the next issue he's in it, right? Like Gears has to draw, full body, not full body, but like armor, head, and it's not.
You can see some of those panels right there, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a basic breaker, right? It's like it's a very complicated breaker, and to Gears' credit, like I remember asking, I think you were in that meeting too, and like I was showing him like the finalists, and then Yuzu wins. Like I'm like, Gears, you cool with this? And he's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, oh, cool. And then he just goes off and executes at the level he always executes at. So it was a really fun experience. And one of the things that I know I mentioned this to you privately, but I'll say like one of the new muscles we got to develop here, at least for me in this case, was the idea of that. All right, because Little Yuzu had designed, had filled out the Mad Libs. So, and we're saying that everything he filled out because his character won, everything he said in that is canon. So he has like a relative he mentions. I don't remember exactly what it was. Right? He has the way he talks and everything. And so there's a part in that you can see on our YouTube channel. There's a part in that Mad Libs, because we performed it. There's a part in that Mad Libs where he has to write an insult to Jolie, and based on how the applicant, the submission, how clever they were, I felt that the character had to be authentic to how clever that character sounded to me, right? And so it was a really interesting thing because like normally if I was just writing a rival, I would write them super clever because you're just like, oh, I'm a super clever rival, right? And just do it. But because the way that Little Yuzu wrote Yuzu, I was like, okay, this is not objectively clever. Like they can be a rival, they can be strong, they can be formidable to Jolie, but there are plenty of rivals who aren't clever, like Biff Tannen in Back to the Future. Make like a tree and get out of here. Not quite that, but you know what I mean. Like that he is not
exactly.
But he is not clever. Okay, so
it's really funny too because like the way then that Jolie, who's the main character of this, is not really well spoken herself or particularly clever, even though she kind of thinks she is. So it's kind of funny to see these two characters kind of butt up against each other with like increasingly worse insults.
Yeah, exactly. So for example, like you look at the panel on screen there, like the one you can read. Is that hey, is that Flace Plant? Is that you, right? That's not an amazing insulting name, right? It's just like a very literal, because that's what happened to Jolie in the first comic, right? I assume where that's where Yuzu came up with that, right? And so because of that, there's not the amount of wit there in that dialogue isn't like just astronomical there. So it's like it was interesting kind of writing to that, and I found it to be an interesting challenge because I actually, luckily or fortunately, I got to meet Lil Yuzu in person just because I was speaking into the Expoverse and I got to meet him. It's like, and I've never had to have that relationship before, in the sense where, because when we do artificial gen, like because it's all communal, like we don't care, right? We could be like, even when the audience creates characters, like they're doing it as a collective, so it's not like one person's thing is defining the character top to bottom. But because Lil Yuzu had defined so much, he was defining so much of this top to bottom. And so I felt there was a relationship that needed to be formed where I needed to go like, hey, how hard can I go here? Like, because it's your character. It's your character, right?
Right.
Right. It's like, how hard can I go with this character and my writing with it? And I've never had that experience before, and I found that super fascinating in my head. Because I was like, usually in our world, it's like, no, we write whatever the hell we want, right? like I want to write this character the way I want, based on the rules that even the audience has come in with and said, given us certain parameters, which we did in artificial. You and me are going to write the character however the heck we want to write the character. And in this case, we were forming a relationship with our community member, at least me to him, go like, okay, what are you cool with me doing here? Like, how hard can I go in this? And I'm just saying that because from an interactive storyteller who is very far in the innovation space of things, I find it surprising when I feel like I've been challenged in a way of like, oh, I never felt this before as a writing prompt or storytelling prompt. So anyway, long-winded, but I hope you appreciate it.
So thank you to Lil Yuzu and the rest of our community for challenging us, because that's the amazing magic of working to build something with a community. Is we can be amazing creators on our own, but there's always going to be something that we're not going to think of. And now we have the opportunity to tell really cool stories because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so those of you if you are new to coming into this thing, that is the spirit of the team that we have over on the narrative side, is that we want to bring more breakers in the canon. We want to do that. And I will say, from my point of view, the only reason we haven't done that is that we haven't had enough narrative things to throw out there, right? Like we're just getting started. We have a comic, we have a couple of videos that we've done, and now we have visual novels. So we're starting to get there. We're getting there. We're getting them out there, and the more and more kind of narrative tracks we can throw out, the faster we can get more breakers into canon. And that's always what I felt was and I've said this before to many times in the talks, like we want more of if the metaphor is that the breakers are Jedis, we want more of the Jedis defined, right? And so 10,000 breakers, 10,000 Jedis in the world of Star Wars. You don't know every Jedi, but you know a lot of them. Are they all Luke Skywalker? No, but a lot of them are important. So
Luke Skywalker Light.
Luke Skywalker Light. So I've not looked in our chat if there's any questions here, but yeah. Oh, look at that. Shout outs to Braver. Oh, Styx Classer, our OG.
Oh, Styx Classer, nice to see you're around still.
From Artificial, yeah. He knows. That guy knows.
He knows.
He's
in the know.
He knows his journey, and I mean, actually, like Styx Classer watched Artificial from, I believe, the beginning, so he's actually seen the progression of that show and the innovation that we were able to instill into that series 4 seasons in, and then seeing us as we start to evolve into this method where we're not piping out a TV show a week, but still trying to innovate on the side of like using tokens and using breakers that are held by community members. And then having them kind of play into the narrative and so forth. I'm really curious to see. I mean, we're just getting started, so.
Just getting started, and I think that's why, like, when we started working on Adrian's Sanctuary, to bring it back to the visual novel we were talking about before, like, me and all the other writers were very, very excited by the opportunity to start bringing in other community-created community canonized breakers that we hadn't had a chance to discuss before. And we had all these fun ideas and these fun stories that we had around these characters. I think I always was really excited about Kane as a character because he's the storytelling mentor figure, and that was really exciting to me that we were able to bring him into the comic really quickly. But there's so many other characters, and I'm not going to spoil which ones, but you're going to learn a little bit more about pretty much all of them. And in the story, as long as you go down the right paths, and of course you can always replay to see other paths you missed. But yeah, that's one place that we're really excited to have a platform, like you said, to start bringing in more of these community creations and to continue to build this world with everyone.
Of course. Hold on, I'm mentioning the team here. So anyway, very, 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 very cool. So yeah, so just to recap, visual novel, 3 issues a week, right, over the experience. We got a Q&A, some areas of where the audience can come into the story, coming out very shortly. So that's classic us. like
classic us. Yeah, I think it's pretty typical for when you're launching a product, especially in games, to kind of have everything done when you're about to launch it. But we're launching 16 chapters over the course of the next 6 weeks, and there are many we haven't written yet because we're waiting to collaborate with you, the community. So that can be scary for a lot of people, but Brody and I have been doing it for 4 years together, and we're really excited to bring that into meta theory as well.
Absolutely. I'm actually curious, since I have you here, and it looks like we're verifying a bunch of things. So I shouted you out earlier as the person with like the eggs and like the pivoting of the game to not, shoot a bunch of Gribbles. Can you talk about your observations as we develop that?
Right. So my role at Meta Theory is a narrative designer. So what I'm really focused on is how to bridge the narrative and game space together in a way that emotionally makes sense when you're playing the game. So when we were first talking about Gribbles being a character, it was actually really interesting because when we first talked about Gribbles as a team, we didn't think of them as anything more than aliens you shoot and kill. But as we started to develop them more, considering what would be our next collection and how they looked and how they acted, we started to find that they were very much more like pets than just little alien creatures that you see and you kill. And so it started to become very important to us as a narrative team that you emotionally have an attachment in all levels when you're playing this game. So when the stealth game, this Twilight Shift, was first brought up, we were really thinking about what does it mean to be in a world walking around where there are Gribbles when you know that you're going to be collecting materials for your own Gribbles? So, of course, we also want to provide people with choice. I know that's something that Nick, who I will see in a little bit when Twilight Shift is ready to be shown off, he's like the head of games, and he's very adamant about giving players choice. So it was a conversation from among all of us to bring in the opportunity to say, yes, you can kill Gribbles, which is the experience that you had in the original Sim game, as well as the Beast Battler, but also to have opportunities where you don't have to kill the Gribbles. So that involved stealth, that involved stun, that involved ways that you can basically go around if you're careful without hitting a Gribble at all. But of course, if you're a little bit more brash, you can go for the kill all Gribbles, and maybe that's fine. Maybe it's like the idea. We actually talked about this on Artificial several times, the trolley problem. Would you sacrifice 1 Gribble to save 5, or would you care for your particular Gribble and shoot 10 so you can level it up? So here we have Twilight Shift, the trolley problem of Gribbles. How does that sound, Birdie?
I'm not sure if it's quite the same, but very fond of the trolley problem. But I mean that going back to the trolley problem, the save 1 to kill 5, or save 5, kill 1 to save 5, and vice versa. Then I would say like that goes back to the basics of our theme of our method of being consequential, right? Because that is consequential. Mm-hmm. That is a high consequential situation, and so like if you say like the trolley problem is, those of you who don't know it, very simply, trolley's going down the rails. There's a split. It's gonna kill 5 people. and if you push the thing, it's going to kill one person that you know, but you'll save the 5, and vice versa. So one of these groups will die, right? And so if that's a game, you do one, and you're like, oh, okay, well, 5 died. Let's do the other way, and you just reset it and do it the other way, right? But in real life, that choice is final, right? It's over. So that is the essence of consequentiality, right? Like having an experience like that. So for us, finding this is looking really good, or this is looking really good.
Yours is absolutely amazing. I'm floored every time I watch his art come to life.
Yeah, it's looking really good. Yeah, so for that, and as we build story, it's like we want to like make consequential touch points in the narrative, right? So for us so far in the narrative, like I would say that one audience thing that's happened, I know I haven't seen him in a while, so I hope he comes back at some point, is Eddie, who was just dominating the Beast Battler experience for so long. He was like winning, crushing the simulation in the beginning. And so canonically, he's like, his character is known as this like amazing breaker. So I'm just like, you know what?
Right, yeah.
We can honor that. We can honor that he is the top scoring breaker in the training simulation, because technically he was, right? So we can make that canon and say that his breaker, Eddie the breaker, not Eddie and Eddie the gamer too, technically, is this like super character in the story world, and we kind of alluded to that when he kind of appears in comic 2. So that's something I was like, I was very, very it wasn't like combative at all, but I was like, okay, we got to get the canonical breaker into the comics ASAP, like right away if we can get that. And so the design for that was neat. It's like, okay, here he is, great, got him in, got Kane in, right? Kane actually has a bit of a like he kind of comes, he's around, right? He's like recurring. So yeah. Anyway, I'm seeing a lot of chatter on things, but I'm not sure where. Okay, cool. We're still chatting. All right, cool.
I did want to like go back to a little bit what you said earlier about the idea of consequentiality, and I think it's interesting because we've talked a lot about how we've brought in community created characters and community created like moments of legacy, like you talked about with Eddie just now. But when we're talking about a single player experience, how we can bring that consequentiality back into play. So one thing we're talking about is the idea of, do you kill a bunch of Gribbles to level up your own Gribble? Is that something is that the tactic you're going to take as a player when you approach Twilight Shift, when you're able to play it? And the idea is like, in our first 2 games, it was simulations. You were going around and you were killing Gribbles, but in our world, these were not real Gribbles. They were simulation Gribbles. And now for the first time, you're going to be on the Dusk. You're going to be on a place on the Dusk, and you're going to be interacting with real aliens that inhabit this world. So the choices you make as a player, even though you're existing in your own insular experience with it at the beginning, could have impact as you go on. How many Gribbles did you kill? How many levels did you go down? How many things did you collect? Does this create, does everyone do this? Does our whole community start engaging in Gribble killing or Gribble saving? And how does that play into our universe? And that's the things that I'm personally really excited to explore as we keep moving forward, is ways to create, even though you're having a single player experience, how that connects to a broader world. And I won't share secrets because we have things we've talked about as a team that I won't bring up right now. But I'm excited to share more of what that could be over the next couple of months, but I'll keep my lips zipped on details.
Oop, I'm muted. I muted myself because I was hearing a siren. But yeah, it's really inspiring to, and as I said earlier, with the guys when they were on, where like this day is such a like pivotal point for us as we build, because my kind of just objective observation as a holder, as a player, was like, before this day, you didn't really get to do that much. There was a lot of active things you could do in the story world, and yeah, you could read a comic, which is great. You could go on Discord and interact with the community, which is great. Not saying those are bad things, right? You had a couple games you could play, which is great, but they didn't feel like they were all connected as an experience together. And then as I said earlier, like today, now that when everything's officially launched, and I know some things are going, some things aren't, or not quite there yet, there's so much you can do. Like there's so much you can do.
My mind was truly boggled. Like I don't know if this our Medium article has dropped yet, but reading that I was like, wow, we've done a lot, and it's been only a year, and like the company has released now 3 games. This latest one being, I think, very impressive, especially considering we're just a year old as a company. And walking through every step that you could take in the experience, which I think you and Joshy talked about a little bit with Kristen earlier, that there is a lot. You can play a game, you can read a visual novel, you can level up eggs, you can explore new lore moments on our website, you can engage with the community, you can impact the story. Like there's so much happening all at once right now.
Totally. Give me a second. I'm going to try to load up a screen, see if while we're kind of going here, thinking sure to get the okay from our old colleague Zach, who did work with us on Artificial. We missed that guy. All right, cool. Give me a second here. Let me go back in, because I do want to kind of get some support visuals of what we were just talking about, because I think it's. I remember doing this when because I presented a similar slide during our all hands meeting, and I was like, dang, this is a lot. so let me share a screen, and then let me go to the right slide. 1 second. Okay. All right. Go to share, Zach. Throw my share on the screen. So the experience that we're launching, that it's like literally being put together right now, as in like they're checking everything, some things are available now, some things aren't, is right here. So these are the 4 kind of very basic high level things you can do. There's actually more than this, right? Like as you said, there's actually more than this. So you can mint the eggs, you can incubate and level up your eggs. Okay, you can read the visual novel, which we just talked about, and you can play the game. So that's like 4 big experiences you can do, and there are all these things, like the sub things you can do. Like you said, we have these new lore pages that are up right now, with amazing new art that came out, all up on for you to read. We've expanded some of the pages that already existed a little bit, giving you a little more as new things have come up, right? And then as Kristen alluded to, you won't get to see this until I think Monday. So it's a weekly thing. There are little bonus missions that you can do to gain more Omnigrow, right? So we have that as another experience, so all these 4, we'll call them tentpole events, things you can do, have all these sub things that you can do, right? So like even with the visual novel, like you said, you're going to be able to talk to Adrian. You get to ask him questions. You're going to be able to put yourself in the story, right? So all these little nuggets get to be in play here, and it's just fascinating. It's like such like a 180 of like, oh, there's very limited things you can do. And it's like, holy crap, now there's a whole ton of stuff you can do, and it's great. Anyway, thoughts?
You just actually sparked an idea that I'm thinking about for. I have one more plan that I won't say aside from just asking Adrian questions, and I'm super excited to talk to you about it after this because I think it's going to be really fun.
I know you and I talk like all the time, but like because we worked together for so long. I love our conversations. I love our brainstorming because I feel that we just come up with. We don't do everything we come up with, of course. So you just come up with just like crazy things that are just like, yeah. I'm excited to hear like what you do.
It's been really fun, especially like we've worked together for so long, and it's really been really amazing meeting all these other people because our company has grown very rapidly over the last several months. We'll also share our extreme passion for bringing these kind of crazy, wild experiences to life. I wasn't fully aware of what Web3 or crypto or NFTs were before I joined MetaTheory, and it's really cool to see all these people who are well versed in the space sharing things that interactive like potential that I've never thought of. It's been really cool as a creator to find moments of innovation that I have never thought of before.
Yeah, absolutely. As a storyteller, it's like I've always thought of so storytellers outside of gaming, especially outside of gaming and immersive, storytellers I find normally, and I'm sure you experience this too, that 90% of them are very linear and they're very controlling, meaning that They're like, it's my story. I'm telling it the way I want to tell it. Get out of my way. It's like, and then so your relationship with that storyteller is simply, I like your story or I don't like your story, or I don't care. I guess there's no balance, right? But us as interactive storytellers, as immersive storytellers, even though like I have very little experience in actual game writing narrative, right? It's just like, but I've been doing interactive for over 10 years. Like, you know, all the Emmys are for interactive. Like, it's just like, that's like where I live, right? And so pivoting to whatever it be needs of gaming, right? Or an audience coming in and putting this note in, that's normal to me. That's like, it's almost weird to me to not do that, to not have like, to not have to be reactive to something. So
where's our community input? Where is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, where's our input? Like, where's our thing? And maybe even with our team, right? So it's like the story of Twilight Shift. Okay, I love this part of working with our team, because Twilight Shift didn't exist as a concept like 5 months ago, conceptually. I didn't even know it was just 4 months ago. Okay, like it didn't even exist as a concept, and because of the synergy of all the teams working together, we've come up with this great experience in this really great game that I'm really proud of, that has good story, has great gameplay, has great art, right? All of it kind of came together at once, and it's just really neat to see that. So oh, sorry, mixing a chat. Yeah, but like how I remember the setting went is I mentioned this earlier in this conversation like an hour ago, so I'll just re-say it. So because you're here, I want to hear your perspective of it. It's like eggs came first, right? So we know we're gonna do eggs, okay, and we know we're gonna do a game with eggs. And as Jossie mentioned, like the first sketches of it was like, oh, you're doing like this Pac-Man-y kind of thing, what he described, right? I remember this vaguely because I remember and I was like, okay, we gotta push here a little more and kind of like get a more richer narrative experience, because we're narrative, right? Like that's why we're here. And so we came up with like, all right, we gotta get them on the dust. We gotta get them breaking something, and they got to get a thing. And because the thing is forbidden, the eggs are forbidden in the story world, the zone where they go should be forbidden, right? And so I remember that's what we gave them. And then you came in with the they shouldn't be murdering all the Gribbles, right? Because we're going to this Gribble care experience, and all that. And so going to that then became, I believe all of that together, and I know he's going to come on and just answer this question, inspired Nick to go, oh, I can't give a Nick impression.
Well, I remember being in the call with Nick. I think it was Nick and you and me and the writers, Molly and Tavius and Peter. And I remember sitting there and seeing the spark in Nick's eye when he went, oh, a game that's stealthy. And and he just connected all the dots really fast, and it was just like instant synergy. And it's really cool to see that process. And you know, I don't know how many people know this, but this game was built we're a remote first company. We have teams all over the world. We have people in so many different time zones. And this game was built by a very small group of people, game developers in Taiwan. So it went across the entire globe from one mind into the programming fingers and artistic minds of another group of people, and came out to be this amazing cross-collaborative, cross-global experience that we've created. And I'm really, really excited. I've played this game a bunch of times. When I first loaded up our internal tests of it, I was like immediately hooked. And I don't normally play these kind of games because I'm really bad at shooters, but I was just like, I need to do this. I need to do this. I was so compelled because there's a little bit of internal competition. I will never beat Style Piggy, aka Julia, and her masterful gameplay. I can't even get like 1/30th of her score, but still, I was really compelled, and the game is really fun. It's really fun, unbiasedly.
And unbiasedly. And I mean, look, I know you. You are very unbiased toward your opinions on games. Like you're just like.
I'm quite a gamer, and I have a lot of opinions on them, as many gamers do.
You're like, you see a game that's not fun, you're like, this game is not fun. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, I trust you. Like, I don't even play this game. Jen doesn't say it's fun. I'm not gonna play this game. So, but Jen verifies it's fun. I think the game is fun. A couple of things related to that actually. So you're in the community, and you're watching this, and you're kind of waiting for some certain things. So some things have happened. I'm waiting to kind of announce specifics on what I can say. With the game, the launcher, I'm seeing that you need to uninstall and reinstall the launcher. So that is you need to do that for the launcher to work. Uninstall and reinstall the launcher. Okay, so this is for Twilight Shift. You want
and it'll be worth it.
and play the mint. Play the mint. God, I was saying that wrong. Play the mint, uninstall and reinstall the launcher. Okay, so cool. All right, so looks like we're getting to a lot of good stuff here. Let me see where we want to go here. I'm showing. Sorry, squad. The anticipation.
Can you hear me, Bernie?
Yeah. What's up? What's going on?
I've asked the team if Julia and Kevin would like to come on for the last 30 minutes we have here planned for the stream.
Yeah, let's bring them on.
Wait. So are you going to do the walkthrough?
The plan. We're not going to do the walkthrough yet of the site because there may still be some bugs that the team is addressing right now with the Mint and all of the associated website functions. So I don't want to click on some things and have them be broken. What we're going to do instead is bring Kevin on for some remarks, obviously give his thoughts on all the stuff that's happening today, and then have just basically general Q&A. Julia will be able to also show us gameplay and be on camera, ideally. So we'll be able to talk with Kevin while watching some Twilight Shift gameplay live here. That is the idea. So hopefully as soon as Kevin and Julia are ready, our producer will make that switcheroo. But for now, Jen, thank you so much for the great explanation and enthusiasm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Go, Zach. Go to, or yeah, whatever. Says bye. Go to me and Joshy.
Bye, Jen. Everyone say thank you and good job.
Amazing.
And then, while Kevin and Julia are getting set up, there are, again, more moving pieces as we try to display some gameplay. The launcher that you mentioned for Twilight Shift, they said uninstall it from, add and remove programs. If you have the old DuskBreakers launcher from the playtest, go ahead and uninstall the old, reinstall the new, and then you should be able to play some Twilight Shift. Julia should be able to show that off momentarily, but I want to thank everyone as the community lead for their patience tonight. Obviously, some delays are common in this industry. We try to be better, but there's just a lot of stuff happening, a lot of moving parts that required a lot of QA from a lot of people. So even just the holder playtest that we had and the feedback form that we ran for that were quite helpful, and I'm sure Julia will have some words about that as well. But this is also going to be some time here coming up when Kevin and Julia are prepared to do some Q&A, some actual AMA like we're used to doing on Twitter and the Discord. But oh, look at Gears art now with some color going. I like it. How about you, Bernie?
Yeah, I love it. I'm making coordinating. I finally bring it back in here. Gears, you have anything to say? You want to say anything? You don't have to, but we love it as always. I guess no, since he's just drawing. All right, so we want to have. Hold on a second. Keep talking for a second. I need to talk to Zach.
Yep. So obviously we talked a lot about everything there is to do tonight after minting or claiming your eggs. Of course, that part was delayed a bit, so we plan to show more of the website interactions. They're pretty self-explanatory. I was actually able to get mine completed here, so I can tell you that the website looks good. It is, after minting, very self-explanatory. You will need a DuskTech ID. Go ahead and make your account so that you will be able to see your eggs on the website. That is a step you cannot skip if you are going to interact on the site. You do need one of our accounts. That is a simple email and password registration. No wallet necessary. Obviously, it will want you to connect your MetaMask wallet to find all your eggs and breakers. So one wallet, one MetaMask wallet will be the simplest way to interact. It is up, but not all the way up, so we're kind of delaying on sending everyone to a mint that is having just a couple of issues still. They are being worked on by the engineering team. But we've got about 25 minutes left on our planned stream tonight.
Let's do it. We have Kevin and Julia ready, so let's flip over to them. Say bye to Gears, though. Gears, amazing
Thank you so much,
work.
Gears.
Keep going. But looking great. You want to just keep drawing. But let's
We'll
flip over
post.
to Kevin and Julia when we got them ready. Whoop.
Yeah. We'll
transition.
definitely post Gears' finished artwork soon. Bye.
I love it. So good.
All right. Oh, we have new guests. We have Kevin in the center.
Audio, Kevin.
Julia.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Kevin.
Hello.
I hear you. Hi, Julia. I hear you.
And we got Chirons. Look at that. Who's this?
He loves lower thirds.
Hey,
let's.
I didn't make these things.
Oh, nice.
This is how understaffed we are. It's like I'm going to make Chirons. Anyway,
we'll start by introducing Julia, since she does not have a lower third. Julia, go ahead and give yourself a little introduction here.
Style Piggy.
Hi, I'm Julia.
Oh, it's at the bottom.
I'm Style Piggy on Discord and everywhere else. So yeah, hi.
What do you do at Meta?
Not a good intro. Oh, so I kind of do a lot of stuff. But mostly I work with the Taiwan team, and then I kind of just help with the ops side of game development and as well as art development. And then sometimes you'll see me in the community, and yeah, just kind of interact a bit there.
I will say Julia is a great connector of communities between the Taiwan game teams and the USA, mostly North American-based community marketing team, especially. So big kudos and props to Julia for keeping weird hours very often, for one thing, to make sure that our work goes smoothly. Very, very much appreciated. And then Kevin will introduce you. You can say a few words about yourself as well.
Hello. Hey. Yep. My name's Kevin. I'm CEO here at MetaTheory. Super excited for today. Thanks everybody for your patience with us as we get everything up and running. We have a lot of things, as you saw on stream, that we're pushing out to make sure that we have a really cool experience for you. And yeah, we're just really excited to get folks into the experience.
Excellent. So Julia, let's go ahead and see what you've got on your screen there. That is the splash screen for the launcher of Twilight Shift, which if you uninstall the old launcher and install the new one, you can see the same thing. But Julia, why don't you tell us about Twilight Shift a little bit? Go ahead and jump in and maybe walk through the basics as you get started.
Sure. So yeah, as Joshy said, this is our new main menu screen. It's really cool. I don't want to I don't want to deprive everybody's enjoyment of it. So go look at it yourself. And then, yeah, I'm just going to do a little playthrough. You'll notice like a lot of updates for this version. We gathered a lot of community feedback from the playtest, I think a month ago. Is that correct? Time is a bit lost on me right now because I feel like I've been up for a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty recently. So what is your objective here? I see you just zapped that bug, but do you need to do that?
You don't need to. If you're able to, just kind of stealthily. Oh well, yeah. Now you need to. You just kind of want to avoid all the Gribbles here. Trying not to lose any health because there's no way to, Oh no! I can't speak and play at the same time. But
it is challenging.
Yeah, just try to avoid attacks. As you can see, I'm not very good at this game.
So we know
this
Julia
is only level 1.
Very good normally, but I will do some speaking for her here. So this is part of our missions for the Eggsperience. There, okay, so she found the next level. She did find a different exit earlier, but that would be if she just wanted to end the run. It would ask, keep what you got and live to fight another day, or go deeper into the dusk. So now we see level 2, your threat and your Gribble awareness both get higher the deeper you go into the dusk, and of course you are going to gather these duskite materials, which eventually become omni-grow and help your Gribble eggs evolve. So see how it all ties together? Twilight Shift, you go up on the spaceship, you get your stuff for your Gribble egg, and you make him nice and strong. That's pretty much the gist, but we have lots of mechanics that you see her using as well as she kind of darts around here. You don't want to become Gribble food, so you've got the stun there, stealth, for example, and different ways to navigate without having to slaughter everyone or be slaughtered. But that is pretty much the gist. We will have Julia continue to play and get deeper and deeper into the dusk, but Kevin, now that we do have you here, we got about 20 minutes left on the stream. AMA has been open pretty much the whole time. We've been kind of answering questions as they come in, so I don't really have a laundry list for you. We could talk more about DuskBreakers up to this point, or what is in the immediate future. Your choice on that one.
Yeah, I'd love Q&A if there are more questions from the audience. I just want to say one thing Nick just pinged about this game that's really important. So you're collecting materials, and the goal is to not get killed by the Gribbles. You'll find two different types of exits: a yellow door, which is an exit you can exit and keep the points that you have, and a purple door where you can exit or you can go to the next level. So just wanted to clarify that. I do think it's an important part of the player experience. But yeah, happy to dive in on questions. Happy to talk about future or general thoughts on what we're building or the space.
I actually have a question for you, Kevin. So
sure.
Where did the egg come from? We know it was you. What spawned it?
Well, couple of things. I guess the primary thing is the game we are building, which is a multiplayer competitive game, involved Gribbles. And so as we thought through it, well, let's get something out sooner. Let's get something fun and interactive, and really push ourselves to build before that game launches. And so the idea of, well, where do Gribbles come from? Well, they probably come from eggs. It was a pretty simple thought. I will say, going way back, one of the things we talked about before, we had an original idea, which was much more about eggs and pets and sort of growth and evolution of these sort of dynamic NFTs. An idea that really sort of spawned our getting together and building this company and starting to think through, like, what are the ways NFTs really and games really can interplay. And so that idea ended up just kind of coming back, and a lot of the original ideas we had for that sort of IP and game set came through DuskBreakers as well. And so big part of that is getting an egg, growing that into a creature, a pet, and then continuing to upgrade and evolve that through gameplay and other interactive experiences like you've seen here, with Jen describing the visual novel, all the missions on the website, and other things to come. And the idea around the gameplay is to have both the competitive multiplayer games, but also games that you can kind of take with you. Games that are optimized for mobile web for now, that you can earn points through, and ultimately upgrade your pets and other things that are coming, right? Related to breakers, related to future items that come, but all of which will be related to gameplay or usable in game. And that's the general sort of strategy for how we're thinking about evolving NFTs and in games, and continuing to embrace more and more with 3 components. But it was really just through discussion with the team, thinking through what can we do. I think I probably said egg at some point, not necessarily saying literally we should do eggs, but something related, something that you can sort of take care of and grow over time.
I remember this. So the as I said earlier, the Kevin Lynn grenade. It's like, oh man, here we go. But look, it's great though. But look at this amazing experience that when you got this beautiful game that's being played right now in front of us. I don't know about you two or you three with Julia. It's like, as we started building this thing, like I don't think we expected something this like amazing.
Robust.
To me, at least.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is amazing. And I just remember that it came together so fast, and it's like I said earlier in the conversation with Jen, it's like I don't think this conceptually this game didn't even exist 4 months ago, right? Or even 5 months ago. So to have this thing come out and have it be so robust and so synergized with DuskBreakers is amazing. Like I'm just gonna keep saying it. I love it. So thanks, Kev. Thanks for tossing.
Thank y'all, and thanks to the extended Metatheory team, DuskBreakers team, for all this great work. I just want to emphasize we built a lot of things. We have an incubator experience. We have eggs. We have evolving eggs. We have Gribbles that are coming soon at the end of the hatching experience, as we call it internally. We've got a visual novel that Jen's put together, and the engineering team and product team have built. We've got missions coming. We've got comics that Bernie and the lore team, writing team, and Gears have been building for the last several months. We've got this awesome team here in Taiwan, led by Maso and Ayo, who built Twilight Shift in a very short period of time, and we plan to continue to add to this game. You should think of this game as a foundational platform for a larger game, that larger games that are coming, both PvE and multiplayer PvP. So that's all coming. These things do take time, but the team has been really insane on timeline, just building as quickly as possible to the quality that we want to put out there. We've got lots of other things coming too. So thanks to the team, thanks to everybody on product engineering, game design, writing team, narrative team, community, marketing, ops, etc. Everyone that's really chipped in to get this sort of insane giant project. Yep, HR, finance, the whole crew, all around the world. Very proud of everybody. Very thankful for everyone putting in the hours to get this done on the timeline that we put ourselves to, and yeah, excited for people to try this all out.
Just some quick hits. Yeah, so we only have about 14 minutes left. I do actually see a question from Kevin and some points from Nick on the game team, who wanted to say some things about Twilight Shift. We were originally going to have Nick come on the show to have a longer section to talk about the game, so I just want to hit a couple of things for him about the game. Specifically, the fact that if you have a breaker with an armed drone paired on the site, or if you own one, you can actually select it as your breaker and have an additional ability in the game that people did see during the holder playtest. Everyone had it in the holder playtest. Now only the armed drone has it. Also, some things about the environment that you see. Julia's walking around, for example, the workers walking around, the hunter that she just exploded, the mama Gribble is a big baddie that you don't want to mess with. There are discoverable things that you can find that maybe we won't talk about, and you can have fun, exploring through the dusk. But the general principle is the same. You head in there, you try to survive, and get out with the resources you need. Kevin, specifically Nick, also wanted us to give a shout out to Maso and the team in Taiwan. Any special words of praise for them over there?
Yes, I mean, I can't really say enough. They came on and really hit the ground running, started building immediately, and built an amazing game with a really small crew. I think that's one thing that our learning as a young game studio, game development team has been really, truly remarkable. Our build strategy is to get stuff out there and iterate and add content over time. A lot of games, AAA games, take years to build, tens of millions of dollars. We're trying to get stuff out fast for our audience and test and get feedback. And Maso and team have been amazing. They've got lots of cool ideas for this. Came with a lot of their own ideas for this build, and it's been a pleasure to work with them. They're quick. They really think about quality. They really think about the player experience. They take feedback incredibly well. They have great game instincts, and they work incredibly hard. We're super excited to build more teams out here in Taiwan as well. The experience so far, Maso and team, and Eason and Ferrum and the Vision Type A team on the VFX and CG side has been just well above expectations. And so thank you to everyone on the Taiwan team. Thank you for everyone on the Galveston team on engineering and game development as well. Super excited to see what these teams come up with and push out for our audience.
Awesome. And so now thank you, Dilu, who is always the one asking questions for our AMAs. We're so grateful to have such a great supporter in him. He asks for Kevin, how much did Genopets, Axie Infinity, etc. influence the Gribble Egg experience? What other sources or projects has the team drawn on for inspiration?
I think I would say I love the Genopets guys and Axie team. I think not too. I think our inspiration really, at least at first, was more simple, more Tamagotchi, Pokemon style. That was sort of initial inspiration for that initial IP idea that we had, like I mentioned. And so, I mean, Genopets, they've got lots of cool stuff. They've got evolving pets. They've got all the move to earn sort of, whatever interactions. They're building pretty cool stuff too. I think it's interesting in talking with a lot of different game companies in the space. The ideas are kind of converging on similar thoughts. There's a lot of the move to earn / sort of activity to earn as a sort of central thesis. Looks like we might have lost Julia.
Lost Julia again, right? But we'll talk through it.
But from our own sort of game design and how Gribbles will evolve and so on is really sort of constant discussion amongst the team and thinking through what can we really do to innovate here and keep it fun and interesting and of course easily understandable. But yeah, I think everyone's building towards sort of similar things in a sense when it comes to this type of pet evolution, breeding, sort of genetic systems. One thing we're doing that's really cool is Dave and Nelson and team have built, and Jonas have built this awesome generative art sort of robot that is going to make all the Gribbles unique and super cool looking. And that will carry through all the future breeding as well and future mints. And so we're trying to innovate on that side as well. So in a sense, combining sort of generative art of the NFT side with the collection side. So we're just constantly trying to do cool things. And we draw inspirations from a variety of places. But Dilu, on this particular question, I'd say when we met with the Genopets team, we were already we realized together, we're kind of thinking the same way. And so when we talked to those guys, they're awesome team, really great team. I love talking with them and sharing ideas. And so I think you'll see a lot of people trying similar things, right? There's no best practices in the space yet. So we'll continue to try to push that and see what we can do that's, truly cool and fun and interesting.
All right. I do have now a longer question from another longtime supporter, Ayers. This one is more about the financial side. So clearly, Web3, you've got all the benefits of games, hopefully more benefits brought in from Web3 for that synergy. We did post a Medium article this week discussing our thoughts on things like tokenization. And so Ayers had a kind of long question, well thought out question right after reading that Medium article. So here we go. I'm going to read it and try to summarize it after. So he says, regarding the last medium, if I understood correctly, the current minigame of Twilight Shift is going to get expanded in the future as a place to use breakers, and Gribbles are going to get their own set of games or experiences in future multiplayer game still in early development. Okay, so he understands that. I also understand that tokenomics are really hard to get right, and there are quite a few legal steps to follow. So my question is, did the roadmap get altered? Where does the play and earn game fit in all of this? Should we still expect a play and earn game involving Gribbles by end of year? And that's a pretty good summarized question for what we wrote about.
Great question. So yes, we are still building play and earn games. We think a lot about that particular nomenclature, if that's really right for the space. The point is we will have tokenized games, both NFTs and FTs, fungible tokens, utility tokens, over time. Will we do that this year? Unlikely, for multiple reasons. One is market conditions are quite bad. Two is a lot of our assumptions that we were building our token model off of were based off of the existing games that you've seen. Unfortunately, a lot of those games have shown those token models don't scale. Not really, I wouldn't blame the teams. Everyone's still learning. There's a highly experimental space. There are obviously some bad actors out there, so caveat emptor when you sign up for projects. But we are not that. We want to put sustainable systems out there, and so we are obsessively tuning our assumptions and our model. We're going to test it ad nauseum until we're certain that it can stand up to time and scale. Will we nail it? Hope so. But it's all new. This is all so new. So we're going to be very careful to ensure that our users have a good experience. So we'll take our time to do that. It could come sooner. We're still planning on building these games that will have the tokenized systems. We may release them earlier for testing reasons without the tokenization. But the plan is to fully embrace everything Web3 has to offer and get that right as we release games to the public. We're focused on free-to-play. NFT holders, both Genesis breakers and OGs, original Gribbles, will have benefits in-game for being our early supporters. So thank you for that. But we have to be responsible here. We have to be really thoughtful about this. We're talking to a lot of great advisors, our investors, fans, other builders in the space, to really learn from each other what they've learned and what their hypotheses are. And what the basic assumptions are to make sure that a system like this is good and fair and long term. So it's all coming, but frankly, probably not this year. I think we really need to take some time to think about it. We continue to build the games. Those are already in development, in flight, and we're excited to release those. But we want to make sure we get this part right.
Good answer. I will add one thing to the because Dilu mentioned Twilight Shift as a mini game. That's something we've definitely moved away from. We originally did think of Twilight Shift as a mini game. Twilight Shift is definitely not a mini game. Like now, it has definitely evolved into as Kevin mentioned, having a bigger plan. And as you can see with what Julia is playing now, she's playing an armed drone breaker.
Yeah.
Josh, you want to chime in on this?
Yeah, go ahead and send it back in that little room, Julia, for a second. She's swapped over now to a breaker with an armed drone. If we can get the...
I would need to wait for the cooldown.
Oh, would you? Sorry, yeah. But basically, when that's ready, if you just saw it on stream, this is something that the trait-specific breakers that have armed drones can do in our game, and this is another example of capability that we have. Really, that's pretty much why we did it. We don't want it to be pay to win, anything like that. It's like, let's continue to see what we can do. In the Beast Battler before, when you picked a breaker, it gave almost arbitrary stats based on your rarest trait, but now specific traits can also have small benefits here and there. Again, we hope that they're fun benefits and not market driving crazy things like that. So obviously with the scaling back from tokens and earning anyway, we have a little bit more liberty to do fun things that hopefully should not upset anyone with our games and our traits and our breakers that we want to continue to keep involving. So the stream schedule is coming up. Bernie and I and a couple others have been here for a while, so we do want to wrap soon. I do want to give a last opportunity for the people that have been in Twitch chat to please ask their questions, soft or hard questions, as Kevin is here for a rare opportunity to answer them firsthand. If you have questions about the game, Twilight Shift, or the Eggsperience, or the story, or anything DuskBreakers, we got Bernie and Julia here as well. So as we're finishing up the minutes here, I do not have another question on deck. Bernie or Kevin,
Here.
any...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, is that Julia? Oh.
Yeah, I was going to show you the armed drone in action.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see
Let's
it.
go. So the armed drone can break.
Yep.
Right.
And if
and
people
not
have
make
played the
anyone mad.
playtest version, I think they'll notice like something different here, where we put in, which is something where the Queen Gribble actually can detect the armed drone when you're breaking near it. So that's something we put in place based on community feedback. We're always listening to what the community has to say, and it's very important to us, very important to our game development process as well. So yeah, keep the feedback coming. Did you see it?
Amazing.
Did you see it?
And
I wasn't sure if you could see it with the...
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
So, and then Nick is bringing up something about the color in your NFT.
So yeah, this armed drone actually corresponds to my the NFT that I'm holding. Let me just go ahead and exit the dust. So as you saw, it was green with a armed drone, and that's actually my NFT right here.
That's cool. I didn't even know that. So that goes there. Oh man, so many things going on.
So yeah,
so many things going on.
Whichever breaker that you activate through the website, and then once you launch that into the game, you'll notice that that does correspond to whatever drone you have in game. So I know earlier I was using a different breaker, a different drone color. So now that I'm using an armed drone, it does reflect the correct color. It does reflect whether it's armed or not armed. So yeah, it's
amazing. And Julia, just because as we get these last questions in, how did you come to join?
How did I come to join? Oh, well, I mean, people who have been in the community long enough, I'm sure you folks already know, is that I was just a very active and helpful community member. And I mean, I don't want to say that I'm helpful like by myself, but that's what I've been told. So that's why I was asked to be a moderator. And then from there on, I met Kevin and then Nelson here in Taiwan, because that is where I'm located. And they were expanding the team in Taiwan. And so, yeah, that's how it's kind of like came to be. And now I'm here.
On the stream, front page of Twitch. Nice.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Hi, chat. Hi, Twitch.
Hello. But yeah, just like we do have a community. We're building together, right? Julia was a valuable in the community. Now she's part of the team officially. Warlock, Peter, who was a valuable member of the community, is part of the now very valuable member of the team. Joshy was part of the community and now is a very valuable member of the team. So. We are growing together, so please please keep supporting us and growing with us. Back to you, Joshy.
Yeah, just I'm satisfied with the stream. I'm out of words. We talked about as much as we could without being able to visually show because of certain delays. Not sure what the parting call to action should be with what we've got on site currently.
Do you know, like, just kind of the basic summary of what's active now, what's not? Clearly, the gameplay is ready to go. Again, to verify, you have to uninstall and reinstall the launcher. Julia's playing with the launcher, right? So that's working. Minting.
I'm looking at the announcements.
Yeah. So let's get the final summary here for our loyal listeners and viewers. I've been on the entire time, so I feel like you will have the more accurate update than I will. Kevin, do you know?
Kevin, is there any mint update?
Sorry, well,
Kevin, you mean?
Is there a mint update? I believe you can mint
we're ready to close
the show now. Sorry,
We're ready to close the show, so we just want to know what's the last thing we can tell them. Go mint or no?
what do you want to say is ready to go besides the game, which is clearly ready to go? So,
I mean, I believe mint is ready to go. People seem to be minting, claiming is working. Everything seems to be up. Just to recap a couple things. So, sorry, Mac users, we weren't able to get the Twilight Shift executable ready. So if you want to play to mint, you can go to the site and play the Beast Battler. That also earns OmniGrow points in addition to unlocking a play to mint for you. First 48 hours, now that it's out, 3 mints per play to mint. And after that, it'll be 2 mints while supplies last. If you do have claims or allow lists, you can still play to mint, so you can get extra mints. And yeah, we love feedback. Like Julia said, please pass us feedback in Discord. We love hearing from the community and hearing ideas and ways we can do better. And yeah, thanks Joshy, Bernie, Jason for running a great show. Thanks to everybody on the team. Couple quick shout outs to JT and Dave for really getting everything up and running. And yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for the support. Know that we are building as many cool things as we can, and we look forward to hearing from everybody.
Amazing,
awesome.
And with that, we're gonna wrap this baby up. Thank you, everybody. Julia, keep breaking some dusk there. Doing real good. Josh, any final words? Any final words?
Yeah, thanks everybody for being part of the stream today. Sorry about the delays, obviously, for all the viewers, but obviously a little bit of patience. We'll get everything up and running, and getting our OmniGrow pumping into our eggs to evolve them. I'm excited. So last note, I guess most of you probably are already in the Discord, but I'll drop that link one more time in Twitch chat. That is where all the discussion goes on about the game and the Eggsperience and contests and all the fun stuff that we do. So make sure you're in the Discord. That's pretty much it for me. So huge thanks to Kevin for answering those questions, Bernie and Zach for all the production work, Julia for playing the game and being a part of us in the stream tonight, and apologies to Nick, who did not get a chance to join us tonight, but we will hear from him again in the future, the Gribble Godfather. So thanks all viewers. That's it for me. Bernie, let's close this up with Zach here.
Great. Final thing we're showing is the egg trailer again, so smuggle those eggs. And to the rest of you, have a good night. See you on the Discords. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Welcome back to the Kinshasa Lift, the monolith of hope between mankind and the dusk. Please take a seat and secure all personal items.
Oh, hiya, DuskBreaker 837. Our records have shown that you've been putting in nearly twice the hours up here. Your hard work is really paying off, yeah?
I suppose.
The fine folks at DuskTech were wondering, what is motivating all your extra dusk time, huh? The recruits would love to hear some words of inspiration.
I like getting paid.
Okay. Well, DuskBreaker 837, your DuskTech family thanks you for your service. You'll be safe and enjoy your trip home.
The Shadow District's gonna love these.
The lift is about to depart. Please make sure that all personal items are secure. And have a pleasant trip to Machafuko.